Caleb does not like playing the magic casters.
No, he
No.
just isn't vibing with the cleric. Which, in all fairness, I mean, I think it
Oh,
takes a different type of player to really vibe with a healing role.
DM, it's caster in general because he was talking about it a while ago.
Mm.
He doesn't like playing like a full caster in general.
Fair. I like clerics, but it depends on the cleric. Because usually I use most of my spells for healing anyways as a cleric, and then it's always post-battle. I try to avoid using too many spell slots in battle unless it's long fights, so...
For me, it depends how needy the god I'm tied to is.
Oh, I never listened to the god.
Like that.
Oh
you know
yeah,
that
we noticed.
a lot. Yeah.
Hey, you can't fight this thing. Just bring it to my realm. No.
I'm gonna fight it, even though I'm mostly, a bard support.
Not a bard support, I'm a cleric support. Fuck you, alright?
Bard.
The bard was just so I could get the fucking proficiency and everything, and expertise.
Has that helped yet?
Yeah, a lot.
I don't know. With your rolls, I don't know.
Alright, you remember the bad ones because they're catastrophic, but I've rolled almost always very well and gotten us out of a couple of sticky situations, thank you very much.
I mean, to be fair, the bad rolls that you had last session weren't exactly catastrophic.
No, but the 3 nat ones in a row were not appreciated.
Yeah, no, that wasn't good at all.
No. Oh, yeah, that was not my favorite situation. Oh, my sister's come out as gay and dyed her hair and gotten 7 tattoos.
Nice.
I think she got booted out of the church she joined.
Mm.
No, yeah. Last session was unique. Not gonna lie on that one with Wolf. Those 3 nat ones could have been a bit more beneficial for something. Although there was no way we were gonna win against the Empyrean. There's nothing we could do.
Look,
Yeah, yeah, we know.
I'm learning as long as L pisses things off, I get ignored in combat. It's amazing.
I mean, I am technically the tank, so that is kind of my job.
Keep pissing them off. I just never get hurt, and I have a great time being a support, like doing my casting in the back.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, my face disagrees with you.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you and I have the same health. It's just that you have a higher armor class than I do by like what?
Yeah,
2
because I have
or
a
3 or
I have a
something like that.
+1 to plate that I'm wearing.
and a +1 shield.
Also, one thing that is nice about being the healer is I can heal myself very quickly. I don't have to,
Yes.
hope for anything, so... It's the only reason I'm at this point staying as the tank. Hey, Maya.
Yo. What
By
tank?
the way, DM, am I allowed to attune to the contract yet or no?
Yeah, you're welcome to. You just
Okay.
won't be able to activate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed a bit, but it was a interesting session.
You know what? I'm almost glad I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I honestly, I would not blame you.
Best part, in character, you're not going to be told anything.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
probably
gonna
just
say,
gonna come
none
back and be
of-
like, "Yo, how did that mercenary work out for you guys? Like, we all good?"
It went great.
But yeah, the best thing is no one remembers anything.
Well,
Person who's not gonna say anything.
I remember everything.
It's so fucking great. You're just gonna be like, hey, how'd the Hellyland stuff go? We're just gonna be like,
Yeah, you
Huh?
know what? I had to get all the way over here to find y'all because that's definitely something.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be filling you in
Yeah.
session.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Man.
in the other game, we've come full session. I have made a sorcerer who's my underling named The Rock.
Oh dear God.
oh no.
He
Secret misses the pebble. We need to find him.
My let it be known, he has a 6 in strength.
Oh no.
I assume he's not the Rock because of his strength.
No, that's his name. That is just his name.
I think it'd be very funny if he had just had a high constitution, and that's why.
What is his called? Well, he's a sorcerer.
Maybe he just moves so slow that he's like a rock. He just sits there.
So
Rocky. You did your best.
So he only has 2 stats above 12, and that's a Dex at 15 and the Charisma at 20. His Bonds at 12, his Intelligence and Wisdom are 11s, and his Strength is a 6. However, he is an Earth Genasi, so...
Ah, that makes sense.
Alright, you know what? That kind of explains it. You should have led with that.
Well, that's a little fucked. Parents name him that?
The Pebble... No, the Pebble named himself.
No, the sorcerer, the Earth Genasi.
Oh, we don't know, because I just found him.
I mean, it's very well
'Cause
that was just his
That's
name.
like
I mean,
that's
Hey,
fucking like a tabaxi naming their child the cougar. Or fucking the lynx. Like, you are an Earth Genasi and you named your child the rock.
who are you to decide what cultures name their children?
I'm not the DM of this world, but I have
The
a right
guy with
to
the biggest
judge.
axe. That's what Maya is currently.
To be fair, Sigrun is level 18 now, so Sigrun's about to be reaching her final form.
Don't try me, I have a whapping stick on this character too.
I got a wit.
Ayo.
Fapping
do.
stick?
No.
I got a floppy stick.
Oh, okay.
There's a medicine for that.
I don't anymore. I didn't after. Never mind. I'm gonna go step away for a minute. I'll be back.
You know, I have a globe with a galaxy in it. I could smash it and see what happens.
Hey, yeah,
I got a stone that can hold your soul.
I got the same old shit I've had for a while.
You've had your weapons since you're
I've
level
got
4.
a cool cage.
Literally,
You do go to
since
Cool Cage.
since Sigrun first had her like starter axe swapped out with this and got the pickaxe, she's not gotten like any other items other than like potions and like some other stuff that she's not really attuned to. Like the ring, the axe, and the pickaxe she's been attuned to since like level 2 or some shit for most of them.
No, the
What
ring...
have you done with the pickaxe?
Nothing.
The pickaxe, I realized later when I got that other ring and was going to debate tuning to it, the pickaxe is I think, unless it's just the items were made a little wonky, if I'm not attuned to both the axe and the pickaxe, I don't get the strength or the con boost or something like that. They're like
Uh-huh.
tied together. So it's another weapon and I can use it for shit, but the axe is way... Oh, I just attuned to it for like the con boost and stuff
What?
because
It's
it's
like
nice.
2 of those fucking items, lord items or something?
No.
No.
Yeah,
You need to require both of them to do something.
Well,
And
yes.
We have a quest we've had to level 4 to find 5 items for Sigrun, but that we never did.
well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure the guy who could have upgraded them in that forge got fucking murdered, so it's like that quest line's done with. I'm just kind of stuck with how things are, and I don't know. I don't know what Sigrun doesn't know anything else about how to like upgrade them herself, so
Also,
she's just chilling.
I don't remember when you got the pickaxe. You got your axe at level 1. Because we got that in the first dungeon, Shogun made
Yeah.
you find it by ring tool. You got
Axe
the
at
ring
level
level
1.
You got the ring level
Pickaxe
5.
was a
Mhm.
little later, and then the ring was a little after that. But I think by level 5 or 6, I had all 3, and I've just
Well, yeah,
been
because the
chilling.
ring was level 5, because you got that at the same time Shogun got the Death Staff you had, which is a level 5 item.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the, when we fought the Red Dragon Wyrmlings.
Yeah. No, it's great. Sigrun's just living her best life.
Me, Tycharis, and Bacon all chilling around.
I, honestly, Verborn might have been very lucky to have not been with this last session. Happened at the end of it. Apparently no one in the camp slept that night.
Uh,
Maybe
Sigrun
because
is
you
already...
didn't have my calming harmonica.
No, Sigrun and Zarius
Nope.
had their time.
Sigurd and
No,
Zarius. Yep.
Listen, if I had the comforting harmonica, I feel like I would have gone to sleep.
or you would have rolled terribly again and failed and kept everyone up for hours.
I mean, listen, it's not. You know what? Then it would have been great. It would have at least drowned out that noise.
That's fair.
Oh, Hunter, on Monday, because you weren't there, we found out who's painting the drawings of Goji's mother.
Yeah,
It's Duroli.
it's Durali.
Apparently, I was doing back when I was
Why are you
courting-
painting Goji's mom?
It was at the request of royalty. What do you want from me?
What?
I don't know. All
Yeah.
I know is a royal asked me to do it.
Yeah, another list of things that Daka needs to investigate and learn about.
Because Hunter, when you see that, you're gonna be like, wait, Durali?
Durali? Wait a minute. I didn't know Durali could paint.
I knew them. I know them.
I know Durali.
It's gonna make for an interesting situation. Alright, well, it is starter session, and we've got everyone here. So, let me just update this, so that way for the time card. There we go. Alrighty. Welcome, everybody, one and all, for those who watch these recordings. We are back. First little minor announcement in the background. You may hear my mic quality might be picking up my air conditioner. Yeah, it's 90 degrees outside right now, and we here in the Northwest don't have a built-in AC units. We have heaters. So I'm relying
It's
on
like 60.
yeah, I got an 8,000 BTU unit that's been going for 2 days now. So if you hear it in the background during motorcycles, I apologize. Nothing I can do about it. You all have to deal with it. However, with that being said, let's jump back into it. So yeah, last session was an interesting situation for the party. After he's lying, he has gas. Yes, that is just the sound of my ass continuously going off during the entire session. And I want you to live with that imagery for the rest of your days. That is the sound that you will always hear in the background. But yeah. So last session we had party had a unique situation, to say the least. Where to start? After obviously figuring out that the entire thing was a trap, and giving a very suspicious information from the Scrofe the party had rescued, named Alwar, who was now claiming suddenly to be a champion, a royal knight, and to name Sigrun queen of the Scrofe, and then just left into the city by themselves, unguarded, without saying really much more, into the research district. The party then decided to investigate the mines where the Scrofe were being held. And yet again, as they found that it was very suspicious that it was lightly guarded, no real monsters or guards walking about, and no notice of any Scrofe working in the mines, minus in the central temple, where it looked like they had been chained up and were being sacrificed from what they could count. Party didn't find this in the slightest suspicious, as they continued to also hide behind some trees prior to going into the mine, watching that no light spells had been cast by the guards, even though this was a city full of a race of mages. Yeah. That pretty much sums up exactly what happens going forward, as the party, going into an obvious trap, not reading into it in the slightest, killed the big bad in 2 rounds of combat, and then his solars that for some reason slightly looked like teeth, and were casting magic at a 9th level continuously, even when their heads were chopped off. That was, as the party would discover, feeding into at least somewhere of a 13th level spell. As the spell went off, the party got kind of ganked, I guess would be the best terminology to use in this situation, by the Beyond Gods, who have decided to use them as pawns, in which Lucius tried to make a deal with Kedlis for survival and then got smushed. Sigrun got offered a deal and then decided to stab the Beyond God instead, known as Thief. And poor Durali the entire time being the only one who could see all of what was happening, because they got a time stop spell off quick enough, right before everything went to shit. And being haunted with the memories of this entire situation as they watched their party members almost being killed one by one in front of them. And then a Beyond God just casually showing up in front of them, twice, with 2 different gods. The party would be saved by Logolthus and Zarius, who would become a Beyond God, the god of greed, noted as, basically creating a weaker law than what Logolthus had, as the party had found out. However, in exchange for their help, the memories of the last prior day and a half had been completely removed from all but Durali, who had been shanghaied, I think is a good term for it, into working with the god of greed as well as the god of undeath and death.
I'm a slave to two beyond gods.
Yeah, kind of. Being given a mission after really not wanting to be the face of the party or the one who led anything, Durali unfortunately realizing that she had really no choice, and being one of the few people who could really understand the situation she was in, accepted the offer to help and started planning for a war with the gods of the Beyond. And to Durali's credit, the understanding is, from those players who aren't familiar with the world and those who like to watch or who have been watching the D&D campaigns for a while, these are beings that literally control the laws of the universe. So Durali, being a powerful wizard, just met two of these beings casually over drinks, and finding out that they're about to go to war. Kind of gives a better grasp of why Durali acted the way they did at that time, as we did get a couple questions on that from some players.
I'm not even a wizard. I'm a sorcerer. I'm not smart. I'm good at talking.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Durali was given the mission to head to Logolthus' fortress and to become the Beyond God of Mana of Magic to back up Zarius and Logolthus. As well as to help her party continue to grow stronger in the exchange that this will eventually involve them as well. With that kind of realization and all that had happened, Durali, taking an understandable look at everything, came back to the party and silently went to bed, really avoiding the rest of them, and lost in deep thought was what the general belief was. Meanwhile, with Key and Lucius's grand perception, spending the entire night unfortunately awake, no matter how much Dream Lily was consumed, both heard the rampant lovemaking between the traditional Scrofe mating rituals and a god of the beyond. It was violent, there was blood, there were pieces and limbs being thrown about. No one dared to open the same tent that they were in for fear that they would be charged into the battle. Truly, it was a fearful fright.
Look, no one had the balls to come in and yell, "Player 3 has entered the room."
Truly. Not when they heard Sigrun's battle cry and were confused if Sigrun was about to go to war with Zarius or was about to do anything else. As found out,
lovemaking not a type of war?
Now, I don't want to miss, we very interestingly learned that Sigrun yells her own name during that, and so does Zarius.
Yeah,
Yes.
allegedly.
But as the two would spend the night together, poor Lucius and Key trying their best to plug in their ears with anything they can and down as many drinks to pass out, nothing seemed to work between the two of them. Durali spent the night getting extremely sloshed with the half-dwarf Bjorn, who the party found out was the champion, or was one of Logolthus's personal retainers, is what they gathered. Meanwhile, while this was going on, Logolthus, at the very end of the night, before everything would go off, would give a final passing to all those who had been part of the peaceful future that had passed on and died one way or another or left the party, giving them a chance to enjoy a night of revelry and try to relax. Though Durali still scarred, the rest of the party had quite a lovely night, minus poor Vormorn. Vormorn, meanwhile, during all this, would spend his days in the saddle, heading far to the south to find a specific tree in a pen in what he would discover would be a destroyed fortress. His family's stronghold having been completely demolished and overtaken by what looked like vines. Having not seen this place in not too long, it had looked like it had aged thousands of years. Upon arriving and spending some time snooping around, Vormorn would learn the truth, that his entire family was gone. The body of Levi being found in the center courtyard of the stronghold, having had her head cut off and her limbs skewered onto what looked to be a tree in a grotesque fashion. The tree having been looked like it's been almost burnt down, and all the leaves completely gone at that point. After looking about, Vormorn would find more horrific sights of his servants and fellow friends of his that had served amongst the family stables and many beast pens slaughtered to the man, with no sign or showing of who or what could have done. Vormorn, focusing on his mission, found what he was looking for in a small box buried deep within the fortress under a single tree in a large pen. After finding this box and unearthing it, a note would be found explaining exactly what this item was alongside it. A simple scroll with the bearer seal on it. The House of Uziel's personal noble sigil. With no one left to look for, and understanding that the person he either met was a phantom of some sort or maybe someone in disguise, Vormorn sadly headed back to the capital. Upon arriving at the same night as the party would find themselves reveling in the Scrofe lands, Vormorn would see the capital ablaze with fire. What looked to be a full rebellion amongst the many slaves that had been in the pens, almost in a bloodthirst rage, slaughtering commoners and nobles alike. Vormorn, judging the situation to be too dire for him to get involved in, there being too many adversaries, decided it would be best to rather turn and try and find his party. And upon exiting this, or upon starting to head towards where the cave was, he would see Alwer there, very injured, missing both arms and half of his face being burnt to a crisp. He would tell Vormorn in his last dying breath that they were last seen heading towards the Scrofe lands with a strange short man with purple skin and a long white hair, as well as a very tall figure that was very thin, gray-skinned, and wearing a very dark black cloak. Vormorn, taking this as a sign that the party most likely succeeded in their achievement, given the slave rebellion that was happening currently, decided to head towards the Scrofe lands, as that was the last place he was informed that the party would head afterwards. About another, you rode through the night, both in concern and hurried to catch up with your party, Vormorn would finally come upon the morning as the sun rose. Zarius and Logolthus gone from camp. Bjorn having taken off for the day, not leaving any information, and Key just leaving a simple note saying that she was going to head off to find something and would return to the party in a few days. Vormorn, you would come back to see the village of the Scrofe fully filled with Scrofe working about, many of them starting to what looks to be creating fortifications, sharpening weapons. This looks like a camp for war, as you've experienced. And as you kind of start walking through the town, this rough leather tents with bone spears to hold them up. Very simple design of a town. You would find your party sitting at the center of the town itself, around a big fire pit, discussing what to do next.
Lucius definitely came out of his tent with, like, cotton balls stuffed in his ears. They didn't work, but he still stuffed them in his ears to try to drown it
He
out.
tried.
Alright.
Let's put the shot.
As you all come out of your tents, the smell of cooking meats on the fire as the traditional Scrofe sausages are tossed about, eggs being cooked from smaller, lesser drakes, and other such creatures.
Oh yeah, like the what did Sigrun kill yesterday just to impress Zarius?
The
Oh.
wyvern.
Yeah, a whole.
Yes.
Yeah, Sigrun's gonna help herself to any leftovers of that if there are any.
Fair. As you
Probably looking a little more disheveled than usual, but not at all upset about it.
Sigrun goes over to carve off a piece of the wyvern that has been cured overnight. What was left of the meat. Vormorn, you come into town upon Ticarius, seeing their party now sitting around on logs, kind of around the fire, eating and drinking.
I take it your mission was a success?
Oh, Yes. My people are free, and I've had one of the best nights I've had in a few years now, maybe. So yes. How went your thing you left for?
I found what I was looking for. Another question: what happened to the other people of the town, the innocents, just the random civilians?
What do you mean?
Well, the town was lit aflame, was it not?
Was it? You see, Sigrun looks a little confused. I don't know. I haven't seen the town lately.
I'm not gonna lie, we woke up here, the Scrofey were around.
Yes, there was.
The mission's kind of
Some-
blurry. I don't
Well, don't you,
really
so you-
remember what we
well,
did.
You remembered the plan at least. You know, the bomb was supposed to go off, and
What
then
bomb?
you're supposed to.
Bob?
At that, you suddenly all feel the ground slightly shakes.
Was that the bomb?
Raleigh, what's going? Does it? Wait, what the fuck's going on? You don't remember the plan before I left that we had,
I
or
know
what
we
was
came
supposed to
to
happen?
free
You
my
were supposed
people.
to go into the cave, free your people. Yes, that was part of the plan.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest that we watched you ride off and said bye, and next
Raleigh,
thing
did
I
you at
remember
least-
is the party
Raleigh,
last
did you get the stone sword?
What stone sword?
Sword?
Warmorn, as you look on at their faces, they look legitimately confused. While you aren't as very familiar with these people, if you've only been traveling for a little while now together with them, they don't seem to be being dishonest with you. It does look like they're being legitimately confused as they look about. Not showing
Sigrun?
like a concern or worry, though.
Yeah, Sigrun could not lie to save her life, and you see she's very genuinely, like, caught off guard by what you say. Sword. The stone sword? Is that the heli thing? I take it.
Yeah.
Vormorn, you can give me
Yeah.
you can
No
give me
clue.
an insight check if you'd like to see if you think to see if they are lying to you.
No, I mean, I know they're not lying to me. It's just, I'm just trying to think of what the fuck could have happened, because this is a plan that we've sat down and made before I even freaking left.
Yes!
So,
Yeah.
I'm very confused right now as well.
You also don't see the mercenary that you were told that you hired to.
You know,
follow
yeah.
Spartan.
Where the fuck's Bjorn?
Oh! He wandered off, I
Do
think.
you remember Bjorn? But you don't remember the plan?
No, Bjorn was
Whoa, my friend! Don't be so loud, you'll wake
one
up
more.
the camp.
Or more. Bjorn was here when we woke up and he introduced himself.
Yes, he was.
I introduced you like days ago. What do you mean?
Are you
Look.
okay?
Look,
No, I'm
Bjorn,
not
all
okay.
we know is we woke up here, Zarius bought the slaves for us and told us mission complete.
Not the slaves.
I assume that my people, likely being as strong and great as they are, had the hand in liberating themselves, and we were just here to welcome them back home.
Yeah, but don't you remember they're like enslaved like mentally? How could they? I mean,
You start to get the sense that
They look fine to me.
each of the
She
parties
looks
seems
over
to,
at the Scrofey.
Each of the parties seems to have a different recollection of what happened as you're talking to them. Almost as if it's a picture that's not fully filled in for each of them, not really knowing what you're talking about.
I do, it's weird. I do remember fighting, but I think that's just in my head last night. Maybe I fight a lot. The lines kind of blur.
right,
It was more than a dream, Sigurd.
What do you mean?
Well, your night last night.
No. I meant after that. the
Lucius
dream.
finishes pulling out the 7 cotton balls out of his ear.
I am well aware of the events that happened last night in vivid detail.
Trust me, we all are.
Oh,
As a
What,
couple
were
of
you
Scruffy
spying?
walking by, just kind of all nod.
I just hope that whatever Helly remain think that Hoth did it, and that they'll start their shit against them now.
I mean, it's not. What, do we need to go back, you think?
Listen, there's nothing back for us there. Not for me, at least. Your people, or at least I don't.
Yes, I mean, it sounds as though the king and queen did die, but other than that,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they did.
our numbers are strong. Oh, what? Did you see them or something?
Oh, well, you know, you hear things, you see things. Fire.
Raleigh, didn't
Burning-
you say
whatever.
there was somewhere you needed to go?
Yeah, I need to go north.
What's up north?
Log's old fortress.
You want to head to Logalthus's old fortress.
Indeed, the now abandoned.
As you
fortress,
say
yeah.
the name out loud, by the way, Vormorn, you feel a chill run down your spine.
Never have an easy day, do I? Alright. Alright, Tech Harris. Are we gonna move on or what?
Karis looks up at you, looks back at the party, and you can tell he's concerned.
Tech Harris. We live in a crazy world. It seems we're the only sane ones left, don't it?
Is it?
I'm gonna
Are you?
like slightly
Is your
bend down
horse
to put my
sober
hand
now?
on the Raleigh's shoulder.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'll look at him. I'll just stare at Lucius dead-eyed.
Oh, I figured you were taking us there.
Oh, I mean, I can try. I've never personally been up there before. I can probably get us as close as possible.
How far north have you been?
You know, that's a question for a DM. In my time as a technically noble, how north have I been?
Well, Divis Jr. didn't travel much farther outside the gate, so Dragon's Gate's the farthest north. That's the only
Yes, I
city.
know-
Oh
I've been
boy,
to
Dragon's Gate.
I've been to Dragon's Gate. I know I've been to the because of the painting joke from Monday. I've been to the
Dragon
Dragon.
Bloodlands. Yeah, in the south. Yeah, Dragon's Gate would be the farthest north. Otherwise, in your time, Tabaxi didn't make many friends amongst the Drow or any of the other northern races, so they were just too far away for it to make it any worthwhile.
Fair enough. I can get us right outside Dragon's Gate, and we can go from there.
Didn't somebody just tell us to never go there?
Yeah, that's why I said outside, and we can just kind of go. We'll just walk away immediately.
Oh, okay.
We're always gonna rub her hands and then like hold them out to whoever's gonna take them.
Sure.
Did the whole thing of not going to Dragon's Gate happen this session, or because I'm blanking here? Of who told us not to go to
That
Dragon's
was
Gate?
last week.
Yeah, I do. So you do remember something?
As you
No.
look at
Well, that
Durali's-
was after during the party, I believe.
Oh,
When
during
we
the
woke
party.
up. Yeah.
All right. So
Sigrun
outside-
was too busy hunting to be there for that.
DM was gonna say something to Vormorn?
No,
Or
You're good.
something?
you're good.
Okay. I heard you say.
Alright,
Alright, whatever.
let's get a move on.
All right.
Alright.
So the party's gonna go hand to hand, and Durali's gonna cast what?
Teleport.
Okay. As you all suddenly, kind of start to circle up, grabbing Sigrun grabbing a couple more pieces of meat from the fire
Yes.
in the center, as she grabs hands with Lucius, and kind of starts to put her hand onto Tycharis. You all suddenly disappear in a glimpse of light and find yourself in this strange rocky area. It's who doesn't have dark vision around here? Just to make sure.
I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, I got dark vision.
Do we all?
I have it too.
Hunter?
Does Tycharis?
I do.
Okay, well, make sure. Okay, I think it's only Key who might not, but I don't remember. Anyways,
Yeah, Tycharis also has dark vision.
so as
Oh,
you
hell
all
yeah.
start looking about, you see a bunch of skeletons lying about in a room. What looks to be different body types. The stonework on the ground, although it's really covered in a lot of dust, seems to be made of some sort of white stone. Very clean, carved. As you look about, there's destroyed tables, some vials that look like they've been shattered about. The ceiling looks slightly caved in with its rocky formation, and you see a large teleportation circle in the center of the room that you're now standing on. Durali, you recognize this. This is Zilpip's former lab when he worked for Dragon's Gate. This was the lab where he kept kidnapping young wizards and using them to feed his spells. You traveled here once before when Dibus Jr. came to make a deal with Queen Aeron, as she was known. And when you arrived, you were offered to meet with Zilpip in his personal lab where he teleported you directly into. You know it's close to Dragon's Gate. You also know that it doesn't have a natural exit. You have to teleport out of it using the magic circles throughout the different parts of the lab. You also recall that there's a rumor about this place imploding on itself due to the first High King managing to show up here and destroy it.
Well, this isn't where I was aiming. Well, we're in Dragon's Gate, but, well, give me a minute.
As you look about, there are two doors, one to the north and one to the east, that are both slightly adjourned, and look to be, having some light coming from them, but not much otherwise. It is almost pitch black in here.
Just so everyone knows, the doors don't lead to an exit, because the only exit is teleporting. So, explore.
I mean, idea. I can bring us all into the ethereal plane.
Before that, just be warned, this is Zilpip's lab. I don't know how many magic traps are in here.
I will mention, Durali, last time you were here, it was filled with a lot of powerful magical beasts, including ancient dragons, creatures from other planes of existence that were being studied, and many others that you had never seen or heard of before.
Yeah, as I'd imagine.
Particularly one that was really famous was a vortex drake that Zilpip was trying to tame that he called Fluffy.
Do I know how far down this lab is from?
It used to be right on the surface underneath a hill, so it was only about 10 feet underground in truth, but due to the fact of the magic encompassing it, no one could leave it at the time. However, as you look around, you can give me an Arcana check to see if you can sense any leftover magic in the area.
Still not good at Arcana. Still not a wizard. That's an 11. Yeah, still not a wizard.
I mean, enough. That's enough to notice. There's not any magic at all in the area. You're not picking up even the minutest of sense. There's not. Doesn't seem to be any spells active, and you're not noticing anything. Any of the circles glowing or activating.
All right, we should be fine enough for etherealness to go to the ethereal plane.
All right. I'll just continue going back and forth because I think I can only bring Tycharis can only bring in 3 other people at a time.
Yes, which in this current time, it's just Sigrun, Lucius, Durali, and yourself.
Oh, that's correct, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just have to go back once.
Yes.
So in, out, in.
So who's going to get left behind for a moment?
I'll be here while I take a drink from my flask.
Durali pulls out a flask for the first time, or for the second time that none of you have ever seen before.
All right.
Yeah. As you start to, Morn, as you instruct Sigrun and Lucius to grab hold of Tycharis, you all, all 3 of you switch to or jump over to the ethereal plane and slowly walk through solid stone. As you're walking through, you do notice off to the side, the door to the north where you had noticed this glowing light coming from, there's a giant hole in the hill. About the size of a gargantuan creature.
Oh, you know what? Let's actually, guys, let's all hop back. Oh, I know what happened, DM. I know what happened.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know what happened. Daka knows what happened.
As Vormorn kind of turns back around and comes back, Dorelli, you just see as everyone suddenly appears once again right in front of you.
Let's just head to the door.
That plan was a bust.
Nah, that was in case there was no exit. However,
As Vormorn walks over, opening the door and kind of hopping off his horse as he's too tall on top of Tycharis to walk through, the northern door opens and you see a massive hole that looks to have been like burned out of. You also see what looks to be a small cloth laying on the floor.
What color?
It's definitely brown. You're not sure if it was originally that color, but it definitely still is. And there also, as you look to the side,
Does it smell like it's originally that color?
you don't pick up any rancid scents. However, Lucius, give me a perception check. Also, you do notice some purple pants next to it that are just lying on the ground. Or
Yes.
rather, purple leather breeches. They are the size. They are big enough to fit on Sigrun, Durali. You could put these on as a whole dress.
23.
I didn't say I was gonna wear it. I just
Okay.
said dibs.
Okay. 23. You don't smell. You as you smell, kind of take a big deep breath in. You don't get the scent of any sort of nastiness to it. However, you do smell orc and dragon. The scents are very strong, but not. It smells more like a sweat of some sort that you recognize.
don't remember. Daka
Some kind of
smells
orc's been
very
through
nice because of his oil massage.
Rolly's gonna hear orc, rub her chin, and be like, "Orc, Dragon's Gate. Haven't got a letter yet. No, that checks out. No, that's about right.
Purple pants.
Yeah, purple pants. Yeah, all right. No, I know the orc. Don't worry about it.
As you lot kind of start to head through the room looking about, this room seems to be, as you look off to the side, you do see it links into another larger room that is opened up, that you can see what looks to be a well kind of hidden, slightly hidden around a corner, just barely enough with the visibility of it that you can see it as you walk past, with the door having been blown open and most of that wall being blown open by whatever made the hole in this room. And you can see that there looks to be more skeletons further into that area. However, nothing else really catches your guys' attention as you look out the hole, or as you're standing in this room. Do you care to investigate, or are you guys just going to head out of the hill?
Yeah, I would like to investigate the skeletons.
Okay.
Sure.
All
Why
right.
not?
My investigation sucks ass, but I'll do it.
As you
It's
all,
Fae, Fiend, or Undead, right?
no, none of those.
No?
Yeah.
11.
Ouch.
19.
Not bad. Ouch.
I have a plus
have
9
plus
investigation.
I have a +8 to
Oof.
investigate.
Plus 0.
As all of you kind of turn off to the right and kind of head into the other area, you immediately, upon walking up to the doorway, you all stop as Lucius kind of stops you guys in the door. The smell of poison in the air kind of catches his attention, and kind of causing him to back up a bit and not paying as much as immediate attention to what the skeletons in the room and such. Durali, however, as you're looking on, you notice there's a very commonality amongst each of the skeletons are wearing what looks to be some sort of red, like silk, ribbon across their chest. This was a very famous sigil at one point that you would have been familiar enough with given your royal standing. These would be called the Red Barons, who supposedly went missing many years ago. Last rumor had it was that they had found a rare dragon egg that was a crossbreed between a black and red dragon that had gained some strange magical powers after being tampered with. Also, noting that the well has magical properties, as you can see the arcane energy actually flowing out of it. It is it's coming off so strong.
Do I know what those properties are?
You do recognize the school as necromancy. Beyond that, you don't know that you've never seen a spell like this, just because you've never experienced it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not messing with that.
Oh shit. Oh, Daka, what did you get into?
But as you, yes.
Yeah, I'll say that out loud. Like I'm not dealing with the necromancy well. No.
The Necro Well?
I mean, if any of you would like to give me you can do a history check to see if you know of any stories of a well like that, or, but
I'll do a history check.
Alright.
I will too.
I'm not good at
Sure.
it, but I'll give it a
With
shot.
my
yeah.
-1. Let's go.
7.
Ouch.
Can I touch the well without getting poisoned?
19, okay. What was that,
Could I touch the well without being poisoned?
From the smell of the poison in the room, you can tell it's thick in the air, but it's not passing the doorway. Well, what was a former doorway is now a giant hole. It seems to be stuck in that area. So you do get the feeling that you would actually be you'd be poisoned if you walked into the room.
Okay. Does the big hole in the wall mean that I'm kind of present in the location, though?
Yeah, you can look about pretty easily. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll use the Grim psychometry that I get
Okay.
to recall information about a darker past surrounding the location I'm present in. I get
Okay.
advantage in history check.
Oh no, you're about to find out some shit.
Well, both of them were an 11, so it didn't really help, so I rolled a 14.
Alright. And then, Sigrun, you got a 19, right?
Yeah, technically
Okay.
nat 20, but I got a -1.
Alright. So, Lucius, you recall a story that an adventure you had passed on your travels had mentioned. An old Red Orc had mentioned something along the lines about a well that was supposedly able to create an anti-magic field and wipe out, and suck the life out of anything that breathed in its fumes. This is believed to have been at one point what almost killed the party known as Grim Legacy. It is also stated that you can remember that Zilpip is famously mentioned to have quarantined the area off because he was so fearful that it would cause an epidemic that would destroy the world. But beyond that, nothing else really kind of clicks for you. Sigrun, you recall a tale passed down by some merchant sailors in your travels. During your time in Dragon's Gate as well, and your time traveling along with Cyrus and his Bentley crew, you remember some story about a group of adventurers who had managed to go and steal a dragon's egg from another plane of existence in the hopes to make it even more rich and wealthy. These adventurers were known to be the top of the top at their time, having each gained positions of power individually. However, they would come to a grotesque end at the hands of supposedly, some believe it was a dragon, some believe it was a god. What is known is the fact that there was a dragon that was said to summon vortexes when it showed up, and that it had almost managed to kill the entirety of Grim Legacy in a single battle. Many believe it was in such a quick succession that when the party fled, that's what caused the massive mountain that used to surround the ruins of this place to cave in on itself.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Well,
I wouldn't breathe that.
good news. There's some sick-ass stories about this. Bad news. They're not good ones. I suggest we don't fuck with things here.
That's what I said.
Yep, I agreeing with your point. You know,
Yeah, we should
as
probably just move
tempting
on.
as it be.
Okay. And to Vormorn's history check of a 7. Vormorn, you recall there was a guy that supposedly died to some gas at one point in this area, and he was really famous for his cinnamon liquor. That's all you recall.
I like Fireball.
But as you all kind of turn and decide not to bother with the situation, being able to pretty much see into the room and seeing there's not really any loot in there, there's no valuables. This place looks like it's been, part of a lab or a research area for quite a long time. They're not surmising there wouldn't be any valuables left over. You all turn to walk out, and as you do, as you come to the exit of this caved-in hill, you see a about 5-story tall, bluish brown drake chasing something that's screaming Fluffy as it's running for its life. As you watch this happen, and see the town guard who are watching and laughing as they point on all of them wearing simple uniforms of nothing but a Speedo and covered head to toe, slathered in some sort of glistening oil. You see another group of people seeming to be coming out of the city and heading to assist in the situation.
Do I recognize the screaming?
Give me a perception check.
Let's see. Even less perceptive than I'm historical. That's a 17.
I don't believe you've met Daka.
I have. It's part of our thing.
Did you? When?
Because Daka had mentioned a while ago in character, you never said anything against it, that he knew a small cat person, and that was Durali. We built a weird thing during sessions that they were apparently friends.
Alright, yeah. Durali, with a 17, you recall something along the lines of at one point traveling to the Orcish lands alongside Dibus Jr. when he was on a mission to find, or was on the lookout for his father. Upon ascending the throne, the big question to him is what had happened, and he had heard rumor that his father had traveled alongside a group called the Rejected Future, or Rejected Potential. Who had supposedly tried to set up a guild in the Orcish lands long ago, and as that was his only lead at the time, you followed along, being the both loving friend that you were, as well as the court wizard. Upon arriving and meeting with the Storming Empire's leader, the Storming Crow himself, he introduced you to one of his brother's children. One of the very few left what they recognized as wild orcs that did not bend the knee, but rather only answered the call when needed. And a small child at the time that he was, though more teenager-ish, you had met a young man named Daka, who was named after the chief of their clan. He had been a very adventurous and very,
Adventurous.
in a way, a unique specimen. Not dumb for what you expected, but not intelligent like many of the other orcs, though his hijinks kept you interested and entertained as he kept bringing you small gatherings of food and trying to pet you thinking you were a house cat. Not really clicking for a while until you left him with a dwarven history book that you happened to have on hand that you had a couple of copies of back home. He didn't really read it as much as just kind of look through the pictures, and upon leaving, the last time you saw him, he was much smaller than this creature, but given the voice, it's hard to forget the loudness that was Daka.
Durali's gonna sigh and start walking north. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Alright.
Always Daka, always in trouble, always loud. Couldn't be quiet.
Does the rest of the party follow after Durali?
Absolutely. It's not something to be interfered
Not
with.
my problem.
Alright. As you lot start to kind of follow along with Durali, going north, are you guys going into town, or are you going to be heading around and just kind of seeing if you can find a settlement that you can reach out to?
Because we're not supposed... You guys have been told not to go into Dragon's Gate, correct?
Yep. We were told something about the city should explode within a day or so. We were told that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Alright then, so I don't think we should, I think we should just head north.
No, yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. As you circle around the city, you pass by the eastern gate, where you see merchants coming in, many of them looking to be fishermen, almost all mainly gnolls, who seem to be going in to trade goods. There are long wagons of citizens just kind of waiting in line to get into the city. The guards seeming slightly overwhelmed by the amount of people, but otherwise it seems to be very normal. As you lot continue heading past, though, you see in the air there a couple of flying Zeppelin-like ships, two of which seem to have what looks to be tiefling-like figureheads that are drawn up or as the mastheads. One, however, or a third one that seems to kind of start to follow you lot as the shadow comes over you. You notice a large GIF-like creature on the mass that looks very similar to Sigrun, but hairless.
No, it's him. He's back for Sigrun.
Oh my god, it's him!
As you are continuing to walk, the ship comes to a landing and slams into the dirt, making it bounce slightly, making the ground shake around you all. It kind of comes to an anchor, and you hear a bunch of yelling going on of rough and angry, and off climbs this very rotund GIF as Carviel gets off and goes, "Sigrun, I've come for you, my lass!
What?
I have brought the armada you asked for!"
I'd like to look at Vormorn and just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, I recall now. Back before the shit went down. Lucius, you remember, right? And she like looks over at Lucius, the only other surviving party member.
That I do.
Hey, where's the
Should
pretty
we-
boy? Where's the pebble? I've still got to smack that man in the face.
To be fair, DM, when he left, he was supposed to hunt the pebble.
I know.
Yeah, he wasn't with us by that point.
As he walks up to you lot, carrying his very... Now what you notice is an adamantine-barreled, large, what looks to be maybe a musket with a big opening at the end. As he comes walking up, he goes, "Oh, you lot really have to keep walking. You know, cardio was not my specialty. Hey, I have come for your hand like I said I would." As he bends down onto one knee and pulls out a large golden ring with a big rock on ruby gemstone on it.
Aren't you the concubine of Zarius, though?
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know much about the dwarven ways. Some say concubine, others say to be betrothed. I don't. She's like kind of like she doesn't seem like she was expecting this at all, because as far as Sigrun remembers in the past, she never clocked that this guy was into her because she's so fucking dead.
And
Like, at least-
Carviel's looking back and forth between the two of you as you're having this discussion, confused as well.
I am. Listen, I'm completely flattered, but I'm pretty sure amongst the non-Scrofe people, well, even among my people, you're not supposed to get married to more than one person. It's a kind of an iffy thing.
He kind of stands up with that, closes the box, puts the ring back in his pocket, pulls out his musket off of his shoulder, and he goes, "So you're saying that all I need to do to marry you is to kill Zarius?"
An honor.
I mean, that sounds about right, to be honest.
I mean, if you challenge him to a duel and he accepts, I cannot stop either of you, if that's how things are done among non-Scrofe.
He nods and he just stands up proudly and goes, "I will head to his business in Dragon's Gate right this minute." And he turns and
Well,
starts marching
he's
in.
actually,
He just
unless
walks
he's
off.
left, he's in the Scrofe left.
He's
Oh,
gone.
Durali,
well,
this whole time, you just sent that poor man to his death.
what do you mean? Zarius is very strong, but he's a merchant. He's not.
Hey, that I said thinking.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that out loud.
Oh.
She's like,
Durali's thinking that because Durali, you guys don't know, but Durali knows. He's like, that's a beyond God. You just sent that poor
that's
man.
beyond God. Yeah, Sigrun just doesn't know that. In fact, she looks a little worried. She's like, I don't doubt Zarius's power, but should I be worried about him since he's the merchant type?
Would you be surprised if he was just like said no and just sent like bodyguards to kill him?
Would you be
No, I
surprised
wouldn't.
Darius was a powerful swordsman, even though he always claims he doesn't like to fight?
I wouldn't
I'd be
either.
surprised.
You know, he was very proficient with a different type of sword last
Yeah.
night.
No, he had a match blade for blade before Kurgan became king, with Kurgan himself.
I think I might have actually heard tale of that. I don't know. listen, this whole marriage stuff, it gets
I got a
messy.
question. Did you just leave his ship here?
Yes.
Did he?
Did
Yes. Yeah, no, it's fully. It's not crewed. It was literally ran by him. He just parked it and walked off.
This is mine now.
I'm assuming this is one of those courting gifts or something.
You know, I have a question. Did Durali say that the town was soon to blow up?
5.
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, if he's going to be in town,
This is mine. Get on. Let's go.
Durali scrambles on.
I was about to say, I don't think he's gonna need it anymore.
Durali, you recognize this is one of the fine gift ships. These ships go for a mint on the market. Most are worth at least a city worth of valuables for the amount of gold, magic items that have to be put into making one of them. This is one of the finest ships you have ever seen, as it is ran by warforged that are just walking about working the ship themselves that take orders immediately.
All right, north we go.
All right,
Well, everything works out in the end.
as you'll scramble on taking the ship, Durali taking command gives the warforged the order to head north. The ship just starts sliding on the dirt forward.
Yeah, up first a little bit. Come on.
Ship goes up a foot and starts flying forward, and people start ducking out of the way, trying to get away from it.
Yeah, I'll slowly rise the ship while I go forward.
As you head up to the stern, you all now finding yourselves on this nice war galleon. As Durali, as you walk up though to the wheel, you see it is called. Give me a moment to find the name here. It is called Sigrun's Wanderlust.
On the on like the side of like just one of the walls outside, I'd like to paint if I can.
Yeah.
Sigrun winking, giving a thumbs up.
As you guys are gonna have time as you kind of get on the ship and it starts to rise up slowly and you start to kind of ascend, heading north. Durali kind of grabbing one of the ladders, kind of goes off to the side of it, having the warforged holding it while she starts painting Sigrun on.
Wow,
give me a
it
performance.
had my name on it. I guess it really was meant for me. That, after our last ship got utterly fucking destroyed, I didn't think I'd get another airship.
Durali, give me a performance check for how good the painting comes out, as Sigrun says is watching you paint.
Yeah, she's like posing. She's posing for Durali.
It's a performance check?
Yes.
Can I provide the help?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if not, I'll provide help.
Oh, okay.
I already have advantage, so.
Oh, okay.
Sigrun's like flexing and posing in front of Durali to help.
That's a 30.
Jesus. As you get a perfect likeness to Sigrun on the side of it where the name is carved into it. It is Sigrun. As you look on, it's almost like looking into a giant mirror.
Oh my gosh. This
And
is incredible work.
as you look onto the other side, as immediately Durali climbs back up to the top and brings the ladder to the other side, you see as she starts drawing this pink lizard folk, fully, laying out on almost a couch, fully in the nude. Comes out perfectly. You've seen painting. You'll have seen paintings like this before go for a lot of money. As you look about, these are rare art pieces. As you see, Durali kind of puts their handprint onto the bottom portion of the picture to put their signature on the painting. And yeah, as the ship starts to float away, a few moments go by as you lot are flying, and you suddenly look back. And I need all of you to give me a perception check.
Alright.
Hearing, smell,
Sight.
sight. Okay.
13. Still not perceptive.
Okay.
18.
Okay, 18.
Oh shit, what is that? 26.
Alright. You all passed the minimum of 2. As you see a giant golden hammer just starts to appear above the city, massive as it looks, as the mallet of the hammer seems to cover the entirety of it. You see a large hand come from the clouds, grabbing hold of it and raising it up slowly. as it suddenly slams into the city being impounded into the ground, causing the entirety of the ground to shake around it, erupting with lava flying from underneath, people screaming, the horrendous sounds of creatures dying, and then dead silence almost immediately after, as the few wagons that weren't caught up in it start to turn and hightail out of there. The city is destroyed and flattened into the ground.
What
And thus
the
ends
fuck?
the legacy that was Dragon's Gate.
It's more like Dragon's Rubble. Jesus Christ.
Shit. You know what? Listen, I need one for the history book. How many times has Dragon's Gate been, like, sieged, taken over, destroyed?
Yeah.
In
like-
campaign or in history?
You know what?
Both.
Let's go. I want to go in at least in campaign wise because that seems more relevant. I feel like in history probably a lot more though.
Look, something fucked happens at least once for every party in Dragon's Gate.
13
Yeah.
times since Grim Legacy first started. Before Grim Legacy came to be, only 2 other times had it happened.
Wow. Just in recent history,
In the last
Dragon's
10
Gate's been.
In the last 10 years, Dragon's Gate has been the epidemic of, or the main location of almost all major wars that have happened on the continent.
Epicenter?
No,
Yeah,
no,
thank you.
longer than 10, because Kurgan, the last siege was when he became king, and then he lasted 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Well, and
so-
then one more with Wolf's Army.
I'd have to look up the timeline off the top, or to get you the official.
Wow. You know what? I'm just waiting for someone to rebuild it again.
As you look on, there is nothing left of the town. But you do look, as you all do with your perception, you all, except for Dorali and Sigrun, what'd you roll?
I got a 26.
Okay, you're good. So everyone other than Dorali does notice the large sigil of the big X on the city. That's and the roundish design that looks almost like a coin.
So,
You know, this
So,
conveniently looks a little
that's
like a.
interesting.
guys,
Yes.
I think we know who won the duel.
What
Yeah.
did Zarya summon a giant to smash?
I told you he was
Good.
strong.
Well, I didn't realize he had connections with giant people in the sky. You know.
Connections?
No, I'm pretty sure that was just him. I mean, did you see?
Well-
I mean, to be honest, the coin shape that kind of got left over kind of screams Zarius, don't you think?
Well,
guys not-
yes, but
you guys-
he's a. I don't know if you've seen him. No offense to him. He's great. I love him. He's a little. She like
Did
gestures to the dwarf.
Did you not
I-
know that Darius is a caster?
Would she have known actually out of character? I feel like she would have.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be pretty plain.
What? Do you think
he's a
that was
bard.
like a really fucking strong spiritual weapon or something?
Well, I
mean,
think
very
it was probably
close.
it could have been like a magic item or something that he had, but yeah, it was.
I mean, yeah, you talk about size
okay,
as well.
you're
But our
telling
friend
me-
Durali here is like not like super short, but an
Are
extremely
you
powerful
telling me
sorcerer.
he can make
I can-
giant weapons appear and he hasn't given me an item that can let me summon giant weapons?
It could be a
What
bloodline
the
weapon. It could be a dwarf-only item. I don't know.
I'm going to have to talk to him when I see him next. This is I want that. She just like pointing at the imprint that
To
was
be honest
left.
with you, Sigrun, I would not trust you with that.
As Sigrun points,
What do you mean?
Sigrun, with your perceptions roll on that, you do see a single figure in the center of town that seems to stand up out of the rubble and walk away.
Is it who I think it is?
You can't make it out from this distance.
What's the
Could you
body
imagine?
shape of this
No, it's
person?
Daka, guys. Come on,
from
we
this
gotta
far
admit.
away, it's too hard to make out. You can barely tell. You just see a figure. You know they're not. They could be. Huh?
If he beats a Beyond God and doesn't die, I think Sigrun has to marry him legally. There's a person down there still. They're somehow not dead. I wonder who that is, guys. Who would be in the city at this
Are
time?
you gonna turn the ship around to go look?
Nope.
No, I think we're good.
They can figure it out on their own.
Because if it is the gift and he survived that, We just took his shit.
And now he's gonna be angry.
Well, hey, it's not taking it if it's got my name on it.
You know, it was your wedding gift.
Yeah, exactly. If he wins this duel, congrats, he's already given the wedding gift. We'll take good care of it. We already gave it a nice new look. It's like worth double the value now.
Alright. As you continue on, kind of looking on at this, really in disbelief at who could have survived that, Durali seems to busy themselves with painting once more. Lucius, what would you like to do? You've got about a day's worth of downtime that you can roll up something if you'd like.
I would like to read a book on how to talk to people. Raise my charisma.
Alright.
Oh, I'm great at that.
Yeah, you could have Durali teach you.
Okay.
That works too, if Durali wants to.
Use me for read the book and then use me for practical practice. I'll be over here. Don't worry about it.
Alright.
That's what I'll do.
Okay. So as you kind of walk in, looking through books, and looking through the books you have, you do find a book called The Perfect Ambition of the Fighter: True and Honest Accounts. As you kind of read through it, it's very well drawn out. While the words in it are illegible. Ugh, I can't talk today. You do notice that the pictures seem to give you an understanding. Go ahead and give me an intelligence and a charisma check.
It's a dirty 20 intelligence and a 3 charisma.
All right. As with the intelligence, you really grasp what this book is trying to tell you. As it seems to really be the grasp of how fighters are honest to a fault, or at least this fighter was. As all the depictions show them like telling the truth, at all times, even at the end when it gets their head lopped off for insulting a king's wife. However, as this wasn't really a great book for charisma, you don't really gain much other than that honesty when insulting someone's loved ones is a bad idea.
I put the book up. I don't like people anyway.
Alright. And as you put the book back away, it just doesn't seem... you kind of head back out, catching... Durali finishing a painting on the side of the ship. Do you want to look, or are you just going to ignore that just out of curiosity?
I'll look at the painting.
You get the sense that some might not care for this painting, for more reasons than one. But as you kind of lean over and look over the edge, you see a fully unclothed tiefling. Give me a history check to see if you recognize who this tiefling is.
This ship is going to be a collector's piece by the time I'm done with it.
That's
Who
a
did
nat
you
20
paint?
for a 23.
You see her, and you recognize this is Tikva Silversong in the nude, brushing her hair while staring out forward seductively.
Oh, if she saw this, she'd be pissed.
Don't worry.
Is it just gonna be
picture of
covered?
Tikva Silversong?
Yeah, is this ship just gonna be covered in like scantily clad hot women of legend?
I'll be painting every famous female figure I can think of on this side.
Make sure
Durali, what are you
Sigrun's
doing?
is the biggest, or she'll get mad.
No, you have a side to yourself.
Alright,
Okay,
you know
good.
what? What
Okay,
is this
good.
ship gonna... You know what? Petition to change the name to the Rule
Is this
34.
gonna be the D&D equivalent of those hentai shirts, where it's just got all the
Maybe.
female faces?
Maybe.
I swear if my pillows end up getting pictures on them...
They'll be worth a lot. They'll be worth so much.
Look,
You
if
can sell
it makes
them.
you feel better, Tara's next.
Lucius,
Hold
yeah,
on.
as you look over the edge, as you see Durali finishing up her painting on the side of the ship, and it dawns on you who that is.
Yo,
Durali,
Bastion sees that.
Durali just kind of
Surprised
looks
you
up.
didn't go for the bard.
Durali looks
looks
gives
at
a
you.
thumbs up.
I don't even want to know.
All right, Sigrun, is there anything you'd like to do?
Yes.
You got about a
I
day of
think
downtime.
if this is allowed, because I have something fun I want planned, I would like it to be so that Sigrun overhears Lucius and Durali doing the charisma training. And so I think when that's done and Durali's still like painting whoever the fuck else on this ship, I think Sigrun goes over to Durali and is like, Durali, I would like, when you're not too busy, I'd like your assistance with something.
Yeah, what's up?
Mr. Ollie clambers
So I
back
heard
up on top of the
you
ship.
talking to Lucius about like social stuff and how to not upset people, and I was just thinking, I would like to be more charismatic to impress Zarius, and also if I'm going to be by his side, I'll need to be better at this fucking social shit. Do you think you could help me with that? And out of character, I'd like to try to also train my charisma, since it's bad.
DM, I want it fully known. I'm going to prepare a lesson on royal etiquette.
Alright. Durali, give me a, well, tell you what, because of it, I'll give the charisma check for, let's say for Sigrun. I'll give you advantage. Lucius, I want you to also, roll with advantage for your charisma check again.
So,
Cool.
what am I rolling? Just a charisma check?
Intelligence and charisma for you, Sigrun. But, charisma with
17.
advantage. 17, okay.
I roll the charisma with advantage, you said?
Yes.
Or just
Yeah.
Lucius?
Yeah,
Okay.
just, you roll charisma with advantage, intelligence once, though.
Well, that charisma's a nat 20 with advantage, and, well, actually it would be a 19, because -1. Fucking hell. And then my intelligence is a 9, because I got a 10.
Okay.
Right.
And then...
Which is very fitting.
Durali, I want you to give me just an intelligence check.
This is going to be a difficult lesson.
I know. If I roll poorly, I have points. Don't worry about it. Fuck yeah. Do I know how long this flight's gonna be, DM?
You don't. You've never been to this fortress before. You're flying by what you generally have heard the stories of.
Alright, fuck it. Let's burn some lucky. Let's see what happens. That's an 18.
Okay.
Ooh.
So Lucius, as you come out and seeing this painting, having given up on the reading part, realizing just books aren't the way to gain the ability to talk to people. Sigrun coming over as well to join you two. Durali kind of clambers back up, putting her paints away for the time being, and starts kind of writing some lessons down. And has you two kind of sit down as she starts to explain basic royal etiquette, granting you both a permanent +1 to your charisma scores.
Yo! Are you adding that, or do we add that?
You can add that.
Sweet.
All right. And I will say you will now have advantage in any time you are doing a charisma check with that involves royal etiquette.
Ooh,
that you
okay,
can
I'll
add to
note
your
that.
other-
But I was to say, guys, I went from an 8 to a 9. I'm still -1.
I went from a 9 to a 10, so I'm now +0.
Oh,
There you
damn.
go.
All right, and jumping over to Vormorn and Tykarius, who one of those two is probably the most charismatic of this party at this point, in my expectations. What would you like to do?
So I assume since Lucius was able to get a book, there is a library here.
Yes, there are libraries on most ships. Most captains like to keep it in their quarters.
I would like to see if I can find any information on fiendish deep bears in the Underdark.
All right.
Those
Let's
specific.
see. There. Yeah, I know why.
Yeah, he knows why. You know, something along those lines.
Yeah, give me, let's say, an investigation check with advantage, because the books aren't hiding from you. Yes, that is a thing.
That's a natural 20!
Nice.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, so many 20s.
Yeah, so as you look about, you find a book called My Liege's Bane, and it seems to depict the story of a Heli who had traveled into the Underdark and had been captured by what looked to be large deep dragons and forced to be put at the feet of a creature he described as a giant, ferocious, black-furred bear that was the size of what could only be described as what he expected was a great worm. This creature, when he was put to his knees in front of it, broke his mind almost just by speaking to him in the moment, and caused him such a mental strain that afterwards he could not explain even how he managed to get down there, or what had happened over the last month of his travels. As he notes, the only thing at the that you get from the book as you read through it is a depiction of this giant black bear with fangs that go that are long, or almost as long as your arm. Each individual tooth being perfectly sharpened, and just a dark, shadowy figure with big, glowing blue eyes. The creature itself being what looks to be surrounded in darkness in a very, very tight cave-like area around it. And when the only thing that he mentions that catches your attention besides that is the fact that when he states that all other creatures avoided its lair, even at the lowest levels of the Underdark that he had explored. As you read the book, you read that it is written by at the very end. You catch with your investigation, written by Isagora, and in my first life is what her the comment underneath the title is, or the author's name is.
Isagora, in my first life.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
All right.
I'm glad Sieko's the slave master keeps coming back at random times for books and such.
When you've lived a long life.
So wait, Isagora got brought before this thing? Oh no, I know, a Heli did, never mind. Was Isagora a Heli her first life?
I like to think Isagora was the bear.
As Vormorn comes out and Durley just makes a side joke.
What?
But yeah, as you read over this, as you're kind of reading through it and you're looking at the picture, you notice Tycharis kind of backs out of the room upon seeing the picture and doesn't seem to want to come back into the captain's quarters.
Tycharis, is there something wrong with this picture? Do you recognize this? Or is it just an innate fear within?
Do you hold up the book with the picture in it?
No, I don't want to do that to my brother.
You just see that Tycharis neighs and walks away down, and looks like as he starts to kind of climb down the stairs down to the lower decks.
I'd like you to talk to me once in a while. You know, we can communicate. Come on.
Vormorn irritatedly comments in his head.
Like even an I don't want to talk about it would be appreciated.
Moments go by, and out comes a black-skinned bully with bright red hair and bright red tattoos all up and down their arms, standing about 5'7" and not wearing any clothes, fully in the nude, with their ragged wings. Vormorn, you sense your tie to Tycharis coming from this creature.
Yeah. Oh. Tycharis, this is an interesting form you've taken upon yourself.
He just looks at you blankly for a moment, and you hear in your head, "You wanted to go find the bear."
I mean, I thought you... yeah.
This form is the only suitable form for us to live.
Oh, shit. Fair enough. We're going over to Logos' castle right now, but, yeah, it's a form, alright. Yeah, we'll get you some... I got a spare clothes somewhere, I think. Oh, hold on.
You see the Voley turns, and not even as Sigrun and Lucius are having their lesson, Durrell, you just see this happening behind them as you're trying to teach these two, and the Voley suddenly just turns around, walks back down, flashing everything, comes back out, and you see the Tycharis come walking back up, neighing very loudly.
Look, I've seen a lot these days. This is nothing.
I mean, you did just watch a holy hammer destroy a whole city. Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's fine.
So you're telling me
Alright.
I just have to bow and say nothing?
I mean, if you're not the main attraction, yeah, more or
But
less.
what is the point of having people to talk to if you're not supposed to talk?
Look, royal lessons are weird. And it depends on the
And
nation.
why
know
do
that-
royalty ask you for your opinion, but then if you give your opinion, they have you executed? I don't get that.
Oh, see, that's only if you give your opinion to a person of low standing. If you're royalty, that's a different game.
Yeah.
Together, he's really asking the royalty.
As this conversation continues, Vormar, as you walk back out onto the deck, you hear this as Tykaris comes clopping back up without issue.
Alright. Dikaris, we can take up that phone when we actually go down there. Right now, we don't need it.
He neighs.
Alright, good talk. Let's go get some chow.
He neighs and shakes his head up and down. You see
Bacon! You
Well-
too! And I'll summon up the pseudo dragon.
As the the pseudo dragon of Bacon and Tykaris head down below, you see a fully operated kitchen that is set up by a warforge. There are tables set out where the food is being brought out for each of you individually to be set. You already notice that they seem to focus on your own tastes from home, Vormorn, not even having asked you anything. As you sit down, they seem to set out a plate of food for you, for Tykaris, and for Bacon without issue.
Nice.
But yeah, so as the party continues their day, you lot traveling now over the northern sea. You see the giant icy wastelands up to the north. For miles, it is empty as you lot kind of come back out after finishing up your lessons, having a midday meal. Standing up on top of the deck, you can see the large icy wasteland. Nothing is popping out. No castles, no people, no nothing. The ship continues to head north, though. Durali, are you going to try and give it any other orders, or are you just going to let it keep flying north?
I'm just gonna give it the order to land when we get near Logothis's castle to land the most suitable location.
You say that specifically?
Yes.
Okay. The ship suddenly makes as you are all kind of looking out on watching for any sort of signs of life. The ship suddenly comes to an immediate halt and lurching many of you forward. I need deck saves from the group.
Oh. Shit.
Do I need to make deck save if I can just cast fly?
It's not to be knocked off the ship. It's if you're going to keep
16.
It footing. 16. Okay.
Alright.
18.
That'll be a 7 for me.
That will
Yeah.
be a 14. I rolled the...
Okay.
Let me roll for Tykaris real quick as well. And a 20 for Tykaris.
Vormorn, you immediately, not being the sailor at all, are the only one who seems to kind of lurch forward and loses his feet as you fall back onto your back, looking up at the sky as the ship just comes to a sudden
Whoa.
halt. It slightly turns suddenly and starts heading immediately to the west. All right. As you all kind of continue to watch, another few hours pass by, and you see in the distance a large stronghold in the middle of an icy mountain. A pass that you're flying over where you can see thousands of bones. Not being able to tell where it stops or if the snow that's underneath actually covers solid ground or just more corpses. You see what looks to be almost an army of creatures that have been destroyed and decimated surrounding the outer castle walls of this dark, blackened castle in the snow. Let me pull up a picture here for it. And as you lot are heading, or as the ship's kind of starting to lower itself, you suddenly notice a single person standing on the ramparts by themselves, who appears to look similar to this. A very short black hair, a small, like, tight goatee, wearing very nice nobleman's clothing, and a kind of a gnarled staff in their hand. They seem to be very accustomed to walking around this very twisted-looking fantasy, or this twisted-looking castle. Let me see if I can find the exact look. I have an art piece for it. One moment. There we go. With its very dwarvish-like design, using, although taking inspiration as well from what looks to be elven architecture for the roofs, the castle seems half buried in the ice, as only the tallest of the pillars seem to stick out. You see a large rampart wall kind of surrounding this iceberg, as it seems to kind of expand outwards. The castle seems to almost move slightly, as the walls seem to kind of slowly shrink more and more inward towards the center stronghold as you lot get closer. The ship starts to come to a landing slowly right in front of the main gate of the outer wall, and this man comes walking out by himself. The ship kind of lands, and the Warforged immediately inform Durali that they will the ship will be deactivated until you return.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, Lucius, what were you gonna say?
Oh, Lucius will, like, walk towards the guy. Good day, sir. Quite the nice weather we're having, right? And then, like, look back at Durali and give a thumbs up.
Sigrun gives you a thumbs up.
No, Durali's just like, it's not good, but it's better than he was, you know? We're getting there.
He looks at you for a moment and goes, yeah.
I'll walk down as well.
Kind of looks at you, looks at the rest of your party. None of you have any spells or anything of that activated, if I remember correctly.
Not activated. No.
And I'm just checking. And none of you have a natural true sight?
Correct.
No,
That
I
is
don't.
not me.
Yeah, I don't have the spell on right now, sadly.
Okay. As you look on, the gentleman kind of looks about you and just kind of smiles at that now, really not understanding what's really going on. He introduces himself and says, my name is Trinitus, and who are you lot?
I'm Durali. I was sent by Logolthus.
My father sent you?
Yeah.
Wait, he did?
Wait, why did how did you meet my father?
I really don't want to talk about it, but his exact
you
words
met-
are something along the
met
lines
Log?
of, I own all that is in the castle to use under his will. I'm technically serving him.
What?
Logolthus left his shit to you and out his own flesh and blood?
Well, technically, my father's not
Durali,
made
what
of
kind of
flesh and
dreams were
blood.
you having?
I wish it was a dream.
You
The
know,
shit
it
that you drank
Alright.
last night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come clean just a little bit. I didn't have a mind wipe that you guys had with the whole last 2 days thing.
I know it!
He
What?
knew something happened.
What?
I
What are you
remember.
talking about?
Tykaris just
remember
looks up at Vormorn and nods.
But I didn't wipe.
That's what you.
Look, Vormorn, I'll explain later.
The human kind of looks about you lot, who introduced himself as Trinitus, and goes, well, I mean, you're welcome to stay as guests. If you're lying, my father would have killed you, so for using his name. But I'll have to
Yeah,
confirm
I
with
know.
him. I hope you understand.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No,
No, fully.
You are
Sigrun
welcome.
just looks so confused.
You are
I need a
welcome.
fucking cup of coffee.
Why are you carrying the brand of the god of greed? As he looks at
To
Durali.
who?
What?
Are you his champion?
Yes,
You really have a long story, my friend. I cannot wait to hear this.
I
So
Me
do I
either.
want to hear this.
Sigrun leans over to Lucius. There's a god of greed?
Pot of greed.
This wasn't in our lesson.
Why would this be in our etiquette lesson?
He just looks about and goes, "Okay, we've got a fine assortment of wines. We've got a very good blackberry wine that we have gathered, if you'd like." As he gives a wink towards Sigrun, as he looks about and goes, "However, I'll have to ask that you stay in the guest quarters. The main castle, until I've confirmed with my father, is off limits."
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No, Maya, do you remember the blackberry wine?
Yes, yes. Sigrun definitely does.
I also remember the blackberry.
Yeah.
So,
It was genuinely good wine, so you know.
I want it known, Durali just looks tired.
There'll be quarters set with the rest of the nobility. My mother should be able to attend to you. She will see you a lot in the quarters. There's a cave you'll walk through about a quarter mile down the slope, and he points to the west behind or around the castle towards a large mountain where you see a very large imprint of some sort of a thing that was here. Sigrun and Lucius, you immediately remember that's where your ship landed or crash landed last time.
Memories.
And he goes,
Is it still pierced on the rock?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, a piece of it is, yes.
It's like a shipwreck, but on land.
Yeah, because remember, the rest of your ship is in the ocean as
Yeah.
a
Not
Kraken's
hit by a
plaything.
giant rock.
But the head mass the front mast did get destroyed, and is still there. As he looks back and he goes, "I assume you lot won't have a hard time finding the entrance."
I think we found it before, and I look at Sigrun.
Yeah, Sigrun's just like smirking at the side of it, just like,
Of
Is
course.
Tycharis allowed to stay in the guest room?
Of course, why would I not welcome a member of the House of Uzil?
Hey, you know, not all people are so kind to, you know.
Oh, you misunderstand. If I find out you lot are lying, the torture and death you will be facing will be
Look.
far greater.
I have no reason to lie. I have no memory of the last.
Sure,
few
I
days.
got no clue what's going on.
Exactly.
I wish this isn't what my life became.
He smiles and goes, "Well, you know, hey, I was executed at some point. Oh, don't we all wish we didn't have the lives we lived? I will meet with you in the evening. Enjoy your stay in the city of the undead. All spirits have to travel through these parts to find themselves there. So, as a note, don't make deals with the undead, please, and do not try to offer to revive any of them. It will irritate my father and will force his hand. So, as long as you understand this, enjoy your stay, enjoy the wine, and avoid any geckos you find. We've been having a lot of issues with lizards recently."
We know about the revival thing. Our cleric still has a mark on their body from when they tried.
Ah. And he kind of nods and goes, "Well, toodles," and he just disappears into a poof of smoke.
Yep. I am off to the guest room area.
Yep. Durali, do you want to ride?
Please.
As Sigrun, Lucius, and Tycharis start to climb their way down the steep stairway and then back up to the hill, where now a door has somewhat been carved out into the stone, using the wood to make the door look nicer. You notice the former ship, Sigrun Lucius, has been kind of broken up and added to the boulder that had blocked the way before. But as you come up to it, it seems to move on its own off to the side, and you see the long, icy cave entrance that you can kind of climb down. Also, momentarily, Sigrun and Lucius, you notice the secondary cave that the two of you had landed in when the ship crash landed. That is still there. It still has what looks to be claw marks where a dragon tried to get into it.
And I remember the dragon. Fucking the dragon.
The Dracolich, yeah. But as you kind of head in, you start to hear the sounds of a band playing music, bards singing tales of adventures, and the sounds of cheering crowds, drinks or glasses being clinked together, and the smell of food wafting through the caves, as well as the warmth that seems to suddenly kind of relax your bodies as you start to head further in. coming into this very ornate but still yet very dark-looking stone room. Tables fully set up with people who, some having body parts blown off. You can see holes through chests, arrows stuck through heads. All these beings that have died seem to be cheerfully drinking and dining while skeletons walk about serving food and drinks as every once in a while one member gets up from the table and seems to walk towards a doorway at the end of the room and walks through it and disappears as the door closes, never to return. You guys are in what is considered the Gates of Death as you are brought in. A skeleton immediately kind of comes walking over and kind of stops as it looks at its skull kind of faces towards you as the eyes start to glow, and out comes this fiery redhead woman in full plate, ornately gold and red, tan skin, and bright blue and green eye. She comes out and immediately recognizing Sigrun, Lucius, and then looking over at Durali, she kind of smiles and says, "My name is is Queen Adara. I'm Logothus's wife, and I will be hosting tonight's dinner. You lot are living?"
Yes.
Yes.
For the time
That's
being.
correct.
She nods and goes, "Good. Do yourselves a favor, and you've probably been informed not to speak to or to make deals with the dead, but feel free to enjoy yourselves. The meals should be fine and palatable for any of you. I'm sorry to say that none of your loved ones are currently with us, except for yours, Vormorn. Your cousin, I believe, Levi, is here."
I'd like to talk to her.
Yes, her head has currently been removed, so you might have a little bit of a search, but her torso, she points off to the distance at one of the far tables, where you see a bunch of Heli nobles sitting and drinking and eating. They seem to all, as soon as the Adar points over you, immediately glare and lock eyes with you, Vormorn.
Look who's fucking dead then, huh?
You shout this, Adara goes, "Please be respectful of the dead and keep your voice down. Any
okay,
insults
my
lobbed
bad,
are
my bad.
fine, but keep them at the table level, thank you." And she kind of turns and
Okay,
walks off.
then I'm gonna... Understood, I'm gonna go to the table and do this same thing, just at a quieter tone.
As you look, you see Azern sitting there, glaring daggers at Sigrun right now. As he
he's
looks
dead.
on, and kind of looking about, you see Levi there, as well as, give me a second to pull up my doc for this, because there are a couple well-known names here, unfortunately. There we go. Yeah, so as you kind of walk over to the table, you see a Zern sitting there with his effeminate features, kind of chowing down on something as he just kind of glares at Sigrun. You see Grigori sitting there with her slim build and tall, with her and her high, extreme height, kind of sitting there, kind of drinking some wine as she smiles. You also notice the leader of House Wormwood, Zacchaeus, is also there, having looked like he has a giant cannonball-sized hole in the center of his chest, as food just kind of flops out every time he takes a bite. And one Heli complains, he just smacks them to the side and tells them to keep their mouths shut. The group seems to just kind of look on at you. Manoop is the last one who seems to look over, and he just kind of smiles and waves you over. And as the rest of them kind of get up and walk away, Manoop stays there, so does Grigori, and they both kind of look at you, Vormorn, and go, as Manoop kind of speaks up first, now being able to actually speak, goes, "That plan didn't work out great."
What happened to you guys?
Zarius was angry because someone decided to kill his, and I quote, his lover. His very furry lover is what he used, but, we did, yeah. So he kind of set a bunch of demons and fiends on our doorstep, and they had started destroying the city, started possessing some of the slaves, and they just went into a rage and slaughtered any they could. Unfortunately, I got caught in the crossfire trying to save some slaves, and trying to get the fiends out of them.
Gotcha. What happened to the, my cousin's betrothed or husband?
Oh, Michael? Oh, his ass is still alive. He got the sword out. Yeah. He made a deal with a creature, some black dragonborn. Dark scales, green eyes, really likes to speak in weird words.
Of course.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, tell me about it. As he kind of scratches at his neck where you see a very large gash.
I'm sorry to hear you guys fell. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way, huh?
Yeah, he looks over at Grigori, who's not speaking, and he goes, "Eh, she got the worst of it. She got flayed alive."
What?
Those slaves, not kind folks. You try to help the simple folk. And, you know, they don't want to help. We even freed 2 Scrofe children that got caught up in the whole thing. It's just how it be. He kind of sits, as he kind of ushers one of the waiter skeletons over to bring food for you lot. And, like, kind of gestures for you to take a seat.
So the slaughtering of innocents in this whole situation was at the fault of Zarius?
Oh no, that's Zern's at the fault. He's the one who decided to fight or challenge the man. Apparently, he got it up in his pants or something, thinking that he could take on a god, or with the backing of a beyond god, he could take on someone like Zarius. Didn't work out well.
Well, I don't know if you can make his afterlife any more suffering than it already is, but if you can, you know, it'd be appreciated.
Oh, trust me. Her presence here, as he points to Sigrun, is enough to cause his blood to probably boil.
Anyway,
Yes.
Anybody know where my cousin's head is?
What were you gonna say, Lucius?
Is Azern covered in like bruises and cuts from where I removed their immunities?
Yeah, you can also see that they've got a strong, long line across their throat that looks to have been where their head got removed.
Sigrun remembers that.
Manoop looks around and goes, I mean, it's probably on one of the meal tables somewhere around here, as he looks about. Or maybe it's it's in one of the guest rooms.
One of the guest rooms. I'm gonna look over at Levi's body. It's like, do you know where your head's at?
As you walk back over, following the heli who just tried to get away from you, they kind of all stand up and walk away. Move to another table.
Oh, there's... I wonder why they're so adverse to me.
Who's to say?
As you do look about Durali, you do see Dibus Jr. sitting in one of the corners eating by himself. Kind of just like chilling, not really doing anything.
I'm just gonna silently walk over.
As you do, Dibus Jr. kind of looks up and you see the very sad eyes of a defeated man. And as he kind of, the recollection of who you are comes, he goes, "Oh, sorry to hear that, friend. You're dead, just like the rest of us."
No, I'm just visiting.
Huh.
I was, well, when Log tells you to go somewhere, you kind of just go.
True. It would have been nice if he had helped out with when our city got attacked by that red dragon.
Would have been nice there when it happened.
Well, he just kind of sighs and goes, "But the people survived, and that's all that mattered. The city's strong. We managed to save those we could."
Oh.
Look, I'm not correcting him, and you fuckers better not.
Sigrun, I don't imagine Sigrun followed you over.
No,
I
hey,
think
listen,
he's
man,
still
I'm
on the
not
ride.
there.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
there.
I'm not over there either.
Well, last I checked, at least the dragons aren't there anymore.
That's good to hear. At least I think my heir was underneath the stronghold. Was trying to save there was a dragon that was tied down there. So hopefully he made it out. Just kind of.
We found a dragon underneath, but from what I was saying, it had been dead for years.
That's,
Yeah, weird situation.
He just kind of nods and goes, "A lot of things have happened. A lot of good people have died." And he just kind of
Yeah.
shakes his head as he looks down at his food.
Townsfolk weren't super accepting when I came back. So,
Well, to be fair, most of them thought you brought the dragon with your hoard of items.
I wish I had an item that strong, you know? Most of my stuff are just random trinkets.
He just kind of smiles at that and looks on and goes, "Well, if you're looking for anybody else, I'm happy to help, but my father moved on a few days ago. I'm planning to finally push on here tomorrow." And he kind of just looks down. It just wasn't fair. Finally had fixed everything, gotten everyone saved, and shit went real quick.
Now, tomorrow I get to confirm the questionable honor of owning the castle we're near.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm sure this can only go well, you know? A threat of permanent and very painful death if I'm lying. Thankfully, I'm not for once.
He smiles and chuckles at that. And he just kind of looks up with a kind of slight. You can see his eyes start to water slightly as he looks up and goes, "Yeah, but it's that mentality and those chances you got that kept you alive these days."
Trust me, with what I'm dealing with, I'll see you on the other side sooner than I care to think.
He looks up at you and looks you directly in the eyes and goes, "You don't know, do you?"
What, is there nothing on the other side?
No, that's not it. You lot can't. You guys are already determined. Your destiny's already been decided. You won't be dying. Not in the way that we do. Your souls won't make it to the afterlife. At least that's what I was able to find out from the queen herself. She's given fortunes to those undead willing to give up pieces of them, if you will, in exchange. And I was curious, and I wanted to know what your fate was. Unfortunately, I don't think you understand what you've done.
Well, if Log was honest about what he wants me to do, I have a rough idea, if that's how it ends up.
Kind of, tears
I
kind of
doubt
start
he'd
to
give-
drop down his face slightly.
Yeah, I might be stuck up there with Log forever. Who knows?
He looks at you and just shakes his head and goes, "I can't, unfortunately, tell you what I saw. Part of the whole undead being able to see the future crap."
Don't worry. I'm prepared for the worst. There's a reason I've taken up drinking recently.
He kind of smiles at that and kind of wipes his face as the tears kind of rub away and goes, "I can do something though. There's gonna come a time when you're gonna need to know something. And I leave that to your best judgment when the time comes. But what you need to know is you should not trust Log with this. And you'll understand why when the time comes."
So don't trust Log, but you don't mention, well, Darius, so alright. Sure.
He looks over at Sigrun and looks back at you and goes, "As long as she's alive, your fate is sealed with him as far as it goes. He shouldn't bother you."
Oh yeah, I would say so. I get blessings as long as she's alive, so you know.
He nods and
I still have 2 favors from him to ask for that I'm waiting on.
He kind of smiles at that and goes, "You always were willing to make deals with the most powerful beings with a smile on your face and a threat of death at our doorstep. I really hope I don't ever meet you here." And he kind of stands up at that and goes, It's been a real honor, Durali, and I truly hope that I never have to see you in a situation like we were in before." And he just kind
I'll
of,
just hold up a flask like it's a cheers to that and take a drink.
as you take a drink, you see as he starts to walk towards the door and pushes it open and walks through. As you all do look about, you don't see anybody else of note in recent history. But as a moment goes by, suddenly, as you guys are kind of sitting down now, food being brought to each individual, I assume Durali rejoining the party,
Yep.
You suddenly hear from the back of the room where fresh souls are pouring out of, Sigrun! I'm here for you!
Oh God! No!
Is he dead or is he alive?
The hammer
I
couldn't
hope
beat
he's
me! And as
dead.
you look over, you see he's flattened into a pancake as he pops into full shape finally, like an accordion.
He's dead.
Freaking Tom and Jerry kind of fighting.
I'm still alive! Come here!
I'm not so sure about that, my friend.
I may be a few pounds lighter, but you know, life is like that.
We saw your duel.
Duel? There was no duel, there was just a light, and then I suddenly found myself here.
Yeah, giant hammer in the sky crushed you.
No, that's not possible.
We saw it happen.
If it wasn't you, it was someone else.
You're about to pass on, bro.
Yeah, this is
What?
the death room. You're see that door over there? That's where you're gonna be going soon enough.
No, I'll find a way. He kind of starts walking towards the door where you guys walked to enter into here, and you see as he bumps into some sort of invisible wall, and he goes, "Shit, I need a bigger gun." And he kind of turns and goes looking around.
Well, maybe those Helly have some. You should go bother them.
Good idea. Yeah, Helly out here are really good at magic, and he kind of goes over, and they start to walk away, and he starts to follow them without issue, not moving pace. You watch as they disappear down a hallway, and you can still hear his voice as he trails after them.
I assume my cousin's headless body is still sitting at a table.
No, it seems to follow with the rest of the Helly down the hall. However, after a few moments of looking around, you do notice her head is on a platter in one of the corners.
Ah, fucking hell. Alright. Hey!
As you see, like, there's a giant, like, squid-like faced creature getting ready to carve open the skulls. It's sharpening its knives.
Alright, whoa. Hey, listen, that's my cousin.
Oh, you want to eat it?
No! I don't eat my cousin!
Sigrun, like, slowly puts a plate and fork away.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. And what'd you say this creature was?
As you look on, this creature seems to have a purplish face with like weird tentacles coming out of its like jawline. It looks to be about from its sitting position, you'd guess it's probably over 6 foot and very lean with what looks to be mage-like robes on it.
Wait, is this a mind flare?
You've never seen a mind flare.
Well, I know. It's not for more than asking.
No. Well, yes and no.
Okay. Listen, my guy, go find somebody else's dead head to eat. I need to talk to my cousin.
It looks down at the head, looks back at you, and just kind of sighs, putting down the knife and fork, and kind of steps up and walks away.
There should be another Helly with the head missing that we can, you know.
He kind of.
I was there for it.
And you see him start heading down one of the hallways, suddenly out in the same direction as Carvel and the others.
Honestly, I'm gonna pick up my cousin's head, but the audacity of some people.
She looks up at you and goes, "Oh fuck me! I'd rather be eaten by that mind flare."
Oh yeah, yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah. So looks like things didn't go out for you too well with marrying that dude of yours, huh?
Yeah, no shit. Of course he was gonna kill me. Cut my head off though for the fucking sword. Like what man chooses his own sword over a woman?
You know, for a person who's very paranoid about people assassinating you, you kind of didn't think that the reason why they were marrying you was to kill you and take our house?
No, I thought you were trying to kill me, and that's why I married him.
Why would you think I was gonna kill you? You haven't done anything wrong.
Oh, what? She just kind of closes her mouth as she looks down at the floor.
Oh,
I think she did something wrong.
you have something to say?
I'm dead. No, fuck off.
I mean,
yeah?
you're gonna pass on anyway. Anything you want to
Are you ready to pass on?
Is that a trick question? Because I'm technically already dead.
No,
no.
you're passing on is going through there. So are you ready to pass on?
Oh, I mean, if it means I get away from you, yes.
Oh, trust
Yes,
me.
yes, you do.
You won't be getting away from me.
She kind of looks about and goes, "You're not wrong. I can't really run away."
Yeah. Nonetheless, so you made some mistakes, shit like that. Whatever. What do you know about our house's birth? The creation of our house.
Nothing I'd tell an outsider like you.
Well, guess what? I'm technically the leader of the house now, since I'm the one who's alive.
Oh, good. Big man, leader of a house that no longer exists and has no military power, and he's got the least magic of any member. Wow.
All right, you know what?
I'm
That's
sorry.
better
I'd
than.
sooner
And
tell the
who's
cat.
dead? Who's dead? You are.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And I feel like I'm still better off.
You think so? You don't have a body.
Yeah, but I'm not tied to a god of the beyond.
I'm
And I
tied
don't
to a
have
god
to
of
smell.
beyond.
I don't have to smell your ugly ass anytime soon.
Am I tied to a god of beyond, or are you saying it because my friend is?
Obviously, I can see the marks on the. Any dead person can see these marks on you people. I can see it on Durali, I can see it on the Lucius fellow, and I can see it on the Sigrun fellow. That's a fellow, right? That's a guy. I
Nope.
can't tell with Scrofe.
No.
No. That's a female scrofe.
That's a woman. Yep.
She looks
Oh,
over
that's
and immediately tries to nod. You
Where
can see like the
Sigrun
muscles
is.
trying to, and she
That's
looks
the,
over.
You can
I
see Sigrun
apologize.
shirtless, flexing, helping herself to food.
That's the concubine to Azarius.
Oh, well, at least someone's getting fucked by a god and enjoying it.
Oh yeah, did you
all I
recognize
got
her
was-
too? She was the air quote slave I had with me.
You know, that does make sense now.
Yeah.
Wait, I haven't seen you since. No, I haven't seen you since you left the house.
Oh.
Oh.
I've been dead for like 5 years now.
No.
I
Oh,
hate to tell you, I think someone's been impersonating you for 5 years.
She looks over at Durali and goes, "Oh shit, again."
Yeah, someone that looked like you just invited me to talk to her to-be husband probably a week ago.
What the hell? No, I've been dead. Michael's had that sword for a while. He's just been waiting to kill. He was waiting to kill Azern for that ritual finished up, so I could stab him and steal the magic.
No, someone claiming to be you has been running your house for 5 years.
Vormorn, you're a fucking idiot. She just
I have
looks
been
back at you.
gone for years. What do you mean?
You're the reason our house fell apart. As soon as you left, everything went to shit.
Oh yeah. You're gonna tell me I'm like the lowest in the house and that I have
You
no
are.
magic, and now it's suddenly my fault that
It
the house fell
is.
apart?
It
We may
is.
have also broken more plans because we killed Zern.
Wait,
Yeah, we did.
that explains why he was sitting at the table across from my body.
Yeah, I point at Sigrun, she kind of cut his head off.
No, he's been dead for about a year.
Fake
What?
Zern, all wonderful.
You know, what if it's not fake? What if their minds got fucked up?
My mind is perfectly fine, thank you very much. I think you Mr. No Magic is the one that has no fucking mind to himself. All I am is a mind. Can you not see the situation here?
All mind and no heart, it seems.
Oh yeah, like any heli noble has a heart. All right, it's low jab on that.
Hey, I gotta get one in while I can, right?
Oh, kiss my ass if I had one.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's kind of over there. Do you want me to bring you back to your body? Like, even though, I still wouldn't leave you like this.
Oh yeah, sure. Anything to help me so you can hold it over my head, literally.
I just want some information about our house. I
Why-
found something about
Give me
the
one
fiendish
good reason I
deep
should
bear.
help you. One good reason.
Fuck if I know. I just found this scroll.
She looks at the scroll and goes, what are you doing with our house's artifact?
Ah, so it is important.
No.
You just said our house's artifact.
Yeah, like that stone sword's an artifact. You gonna go around beating someone with a blunt stone?
If you want a reason to tell him things, the more he knows, the more we can fuck over the people that killed you.
Like I care. This capital's probably on fire without me there.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but the guy who killed you's doing really well.
Is he now? She takes a second and kind of thinks and goes, You know, I don't like you, Vormlorn. I think you're a worthless, magicless commoner who didn't deserve to carry our house name. However, I can't argue that at the very least you not having magic makes you probably better to fight Michael than anybody else, since all he has is magic. Fine, I'll help you. Only to watch his head get lopped off and so I can see him here when he dies. And give him an earful. Put my head down on the table.
Yeah, right.
As you do so, you see she starts to cast magic. And it doesn't really seem to go really well, as the magic doesn't seem to flow as she's trying. And then it suddenly kicks in as her eyes start to glow blue, and she shoots out an image in front of her. And you see this blonde-haired, very angelic-looking figure. Vormorn, this is not at all what Michael looks like. But you recognize as you look on the sigil on his chest that he wears around his neck as it's his personal sigil of his house and himself. She shows him and sitting in his chair, fully in the nude, while she's staring at him from her level. And she goes, "Oh, let me skip that part."
Yeah.
She jumps ahead to her. Now you just see a shadow in the distance and the sounds of like screaming and moaning. She goes, "Oh, sorry." After that, and then it pops in and it finally shows him in his room working at a mirror. And on that, as it shows her face looking at this mirror, or as you see through her eyes, you see this angelic figure, but then you see the twisted-looking fiend in the mirror, this disgusting-looking hag-like creature that seems to be almost moving in the reflection of Michael. And as Michael suddenly, his eyes turn, you see as the vision cuts and her head just slides to the floor.
Oh, so this was your final moments.
Oh, no, I was alive for a few more moments after that, but I don't want to... if the parts I skipped earlier are involved in the parts after. I didn't
So,
think
Vermont, I think that confirms her mind's not fucked. That really wasn't her we were talking to.
She looks about and goes, "What? What do you mean?" That was a few years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that confirms that someone really has been playing as you for years.
The only people with magic like that are Toth. There's the only ones
Yeah,
who can out
well-
impersonate Helly and get away with it and like not be noticed. They're the only ones
Well-
with powerful enough magic.
I hate to tell you, the Toth are kind of indirectly trying to destroy the world.
And you idiots are here? Aren't you
well-
supposed to be a hero, Vormorn? Isn't that
Hey,
the whole
hey.
thing of how you went off on your
When a
own?
Beyond
Yeah, I
God
wanted to go there, but we've been sidetracked.
When a Beyond God tells you to go north, you go north.
Oh, you're just a wuss who can't say no to a god.
And you're
You see,
dead.
as she says that, suddenly her face starts to slightly droop, and she goes, I apologize, I'm wrong, and suddenly it goes back
Yeah.
to normal.
Yeah, see? I was confronted by two of them. You think I had a choice?
Yeah, fuck you. She just looks about.
You know what? I appreciate the information. Let me bring you back to your body.
No, just leave me here. I don't want to listen to that gift that was yelling. If anything, let the
Alright,
body
anything else I
be
can do
tortured.
for you?
Die?
Somebody else-
That'd be fantastic.
I'm gonna punt her head through the portal.
Alright, give me a strength check. Or actually,
If
no,
this
make
goes
it an
bad,
athletics.
you're gonna look so dumb.
Make-
Athletics?
yeah, make an athletics check, actually. Yeah.
If he fails, I could try to do it.
20. Dirty 20.
With a practiced kick from your days of playing with a leather ball in the fields with different animals, readily drop it in front of you. It's not the prettiest, as it's off by a little bit where you're aiming, but at an angle, the door slightly opens and the head goes flying in. The last words you hear are, "Fuck you in the Underdark!" As her spirit leaves this plane. Now, while Vormorn is doing this, Lucius, where did you go?
Oh, I am just sitting at the bar drinking.
As you are drinking, you do watch as over comes this beautiful redhead at about 5'4", wearing bright gold armor, who comes to sit next to you. And he kind of turns to you and goes, "So you died too, huh?"
No, I'm a visitor.
Oh. Well, turns out our deal with Teg didn't go too well, did it?
Um. Well.
Lord Calbridge. Lady Calbridge, as we were engaged.
Ah.
Yeah, he
Ah,
nods and
I
goes,
see.
"It's all right. We only
Yeah.
met for a little while."
I got your head in the mail. I kind of just buried it and moved on.
Appreciate that, really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The white mask guy, really weird guy, just showed up, said that he was here to kill your Lucius's lover. I tried to reason with the guy. Didn't believe me.
Yeah. Nobody ever seemed to. But yeah, no, the deal didn't go well. I'm sure you can tell.
Yeah.
Most of my group is gone.
Yeah, I noticed. My father was here recently before he passed on. Gave me a real earful. Said you stabbed him in the back in a tavern. A lot.
Well,
Good plan.
we do what we got to do, right?
Yeah, he nods. He goes, "That was a brilliant idea."
Well, it was actually Teg's. Come to think of it, probably shouldn't have listened, but
No. Yeah.
you know, I was desperate.
No, it's fair. You know, Hawken was apparently never came through these parts. So you might want to ask your god about that, because that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm not super connected anymore. I mean, still get some ability, but you know.
Fair. Kind of nods and goes, "You know, I don't regret my actions, but I do definitely regret being stuck here for a little while. So, but anyways, you lot have a good time. I figured I'd just say hi since, you know, I was here. I'm leaving anyways, but here soon. Don't plan to stick around much longer. Not much fun to be had here. But you weren't looking for anyone in particular, were you?
No, we're just kind of waiting. The cat, or sorry, that's offensive. My friend, I guess, Durali over there,
He looks over.
was
and goes,
invited by Logothus,
"No,
so.
nice." He nods and goes, "You know, it sucks you guys couldn't get that kind of backing when, you know, Kedlis showed up and kind of destroyed everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we have the backing. The last couple days are a real blur, but here we are.
That's fair. I met with a gentleman who did ask about your name before I died, though. He had been traveling and was asking about you. Another blood hunter, like to turn into a bear. Had a weird, talked about a weird situation with an orc queen at some point. Ring any
he
bells
want?
to you?
What did he want?
Oh, he mentioned something about gathering an army to hunt down some Sierra Leone family. I don't know, something like that. Said he was gonna wipe out the entire bloodline.
I see.
I didn't offer him
Well-
anything. I figured that's why the White Mask showed up. Didn't think it because of you, but it makes more sense now why they were asking if I was your wife.
No, that's unrelated. That was just bad luck. We killed another white mask person and got cursed, and well, for like you said, they seemed to think that we were indeed a.
She nods, or he nods and goes, "Well, it was good drinking with you." And kind of stands up and goes, "Hope I don't see you in the afterlife, but when I do, just best of luck out there. World's getting
Good luck
crazy."
on the other side. I hope it's better than this hellhole, and he'll just like down his whole drink.
You down it in one gulp. The redhead kind of stands up and kind of walks off and ends up going through the door. More drinks are brought to you, Lucius. Yeah. Sigrun, are you looking for anybody in particular while you're here?
I think Sigrun, because she's been in such a great mood lately, and she's still kind of riding that high. She's just grabbing drinks, looking for food. I think she's looking for not anyone in particular, just whoever looks the most fun or interesting to be around. Like whatever table is laughing the most, is having the most fun, is telling fun stories or war tales. She'd be like gravitating to that because she just wants to like party and have a good time.
We were told your king was dead.
I mean, yeah, if she sees him, she'll definitely swing by, but she's not like looking for him intentionally.
As you
I don't think.
walk around, you do see two people laughing and drinking heavily, or three people rather. The first is an Aasimar that seems to be very simple in his features, that you don't really recognize off the top of your bat, but he seems to be chuckling and laughing as drinks are being poured. The other seems to be a very old-looking wizard who, wearing very ornate robes and having a staff that looks to be almost divine, kind of sitting against the table. You recognize the symbol around his chest as the High King Cyrus's holy mark. And then beside him, you see a tiefling that is wearing no clothes and seems to be telling terrible jokes as he's pouring more and more drinks.
Yeah, Sigrid will go over and just kind of like insert herself. I imagine she's got a drink or two in her hand, probably not feeling the effects of it given her immunity, and it's just like, hello, I hope you don't mind if I cut in. You all seem to be knowing how to have a good time.
The tiefling kind of smiles and goes, "Oh, always good to have a visitor here. Name's Gall."
Yes. My name is, and she switches to Infernal, and will translate her name into that and kind of flash him a smile.
Ah, you speak the native tongue. My wife never really spoke much of it around me. He kind of smiles.
I'm aware of who you are, I believe.
Are you?
Actually. You are Gall, are you not? Husband
yes.
of Tikva Silversong?
Oh yes, my greatest accomplishment. Marrying the woman who despised me for most of our marriage. Mostly because I didn't wear pants.
I'm not saying that's your greatest accomplishment, but you mentioned your wife. Yes, I helped serve and fought alongside a lot of your people at the Dragon's Gate battle. And then she nods her head towards the Cyrus's holy symbol, and is like, "Yeah, I was part of that for a while."
He looks at you, the man wearing the sigil kind of looks at you and goes, "I know. I made you one of my champions."
Oh, I guess I was not aware of that. I guess that explains the promotion.
He smiles and goes, "All Scrofe were welcomed amongst my ranks as my champions. That was part of my position as the High King."
Oh, I see. That explains it. You see, back then, which I guess wasn't too long ago, but I was definitely a different Scrofe. I was more focused on just the fighting than on the whole politics.
You see
part.
as he kind of grabs your chin, and his strength is impressive as he kind of lifts your face up slightly. Not in a violent way, just kind of looking you over, and kind of leans back down, sits down in his chair for a moment, and goes, "Well, you're no longer undead. I'm glad to see that curse fell off of you."
Yes, I was, and then I wasn't, and it's been weird. I still feel divineness in my veins, but it's since Cyrus has died for a while now. I'm uncertain where it comes from. It's clearly not his influence anymore. I guess it's my own. And she kind of like looks at her chest where in battle the glowing mark will appear, but is right now just her furry chest, and kind of like shrugs, takes a big, like, swigs back a whole glass, grabs another.
He smiles at that and goes, "Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Cyrus Galadron." As he holds out his hand. He goes, "Oh, yes, the former High King. My head got lopped off, unfortunately, when I fell. We were defending a city, and I protected my wife to the best that I could."
Is this the wizard or Gall speaking?
This is Cyrus as he's looking at you dead in the eyes now.
Oh, I thought that was Gall still speaking.
No, Gall has gone completely quiet watching this.
Oh, so as Cyrus speaks up and as Sigrun like holds in the voice, she's like chokes on the drink she just slammed back and kind of like for the first time, people would see her give like a scrofy like bow or salute. It'd be like, I guess you are no longer my god, but I did not realize. And kind of looks for the first time a little bashful to not have recognized the man who resurrected her.
He kind of plays with his mustache as he kind of straightens it out and takes a drink and kind of looks at you and smiles and goes, "Yes, I tried to resurrect as many of you before I lost my powers as I could. It was an unfortunate situation on that. Those Beyond Gods are real bastards."
Oh, yes, my friend who was tied to one and got us sort of all dragged into it by accident. It didn't end well for him or for us. I'm sure you can tell I've been through quite a lot, but you know, I appreciate being alive. I owe you for that. And she kind of like nods her head like very respectfully.
It's not polite, as he kind of whispers and keeps his voice down to, and he continues and goes, "It's not very polite to mention that you're glad to be alive amongst the dead."
I don't know. I wasn't told about that in my politeness class earlier today, but I'll keep that in mind.
He kind of chuckles at that and goes back to his drink as Gaul starts telling stories about his times in the war and the different battles he's been part of.
Sigrun will contribute her own stories about the shenanigans the party has gotten up to.
As the day goes on, you lot enjoying your drinks, relaxing.
I have a question. Did Sarah end up showing up? Because I know Sarah got decapitated.
She did, but you don't see her around.
Nope.
As it gets late, or what would be late for mortals, Gaul finally speaks up and goes, "Alright, dead people, time to go off to your beds. For those who don't have bunks, you're moving on, get your asses going, it's time." And as he stands up, no pants still, in his full glory, the whole reason why Tikva kept the marriage going.
Sigrun respects it.
Yeah, you see as many of the dead start to kind of get up and kind of now shuffle into hallways that seem to suddenly appear in different junctions of the room and dissipate. And he kind of looks at Sigrun and to the rest of your party and goes, as Cyrus and his son kind of walk off, he looks about and goes, "I recommend if you're planning to stay to go speak with, there's a woman here named Freya. She might be able to help you find accommodations."
Yes, she's dead.
Oh.
She's being held in one of the darker cells, but she's been put in charge of dealing with the damned souls for her own disobedience. Turns out, killing people with diseases is really frowned upon by the god of death. As he kind of smiles at that as he speaks under his breath and goes, and he puts his hands behind his head and kind of like leans back slightly, standing, and tail kind of switches back and forth. And, as he kind of stands, he goes, "Well, that was my last night, unfortunately, on this plane. We gods only get to last so long in the dead, amongst the dead, even those who have fallen. If you see my wife, ex-wife, death do us part, yeah, ex-wife, let her know. It was the pills." As he smiles.
I have not seen her or her children. She kind of gives air quotes referring to adopted kind of kids in a while, but if I see them, I will let you know.
Let them know. He smiles and goes,
yeah.
"All right, this was the final night of my drinking and my time as a god." And he kind of starts to go to the back of the room where the souls normally are popping out, and he starts to jump up and down for a moment, getting himself kind of amped up, and starts to go for a run. And as he goes running at a straight sprint towards the doorway at the end where you saw Vormorn kick the head of his cousin earlier, he kind of last minute, as he's running, turns his head towards Durali and gives a very obvious wink and smile as he flies through the doorway.
I hope to be that energetic when I'm dead.
Who was that, by the way? I feel like I've missed something.
That was Gaul. That was Maya's
Gaul.
husband.
You remember?
Oh.
Tikva's
He's a very
kind of
famous tiefling who never wore
husband.
pants and always flashed
Yeah,
people his
sure.
ass.
The
Early in
Monsters
the-
5 have his ship, or had his
Yeah,
ship.
we
I
do.
should say.
We do. All's Revenge. But also, earlier in campaign, we saw a picture of Niseko was comparing muscles to his because he was naked in a picture.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. At first, he was just when I was playing Zaya, he was just like a NPC who betrothed her cousin, and then when I became Tikva, he was my husband.
Also,
Through circumstances.
fully want it known, he winked at me because I PM DM. Dorali looks fine and just says to herself, I drew his wife's tits earlier.
I drew
Also,
your
he had
wife
a
naked.
thumb obsession. He would constantly show up with random
Oh.
thumbs to give people.
Yep.
And he would torture his enemies via giant thumbs.
Yes.
I just remember that Kurgan figured out what he was before he died, and he threatened to kill me if I told anyone.
Yeah, you
Yep,
found
I
out
remember
he
that
was
too.
Kalfel, one of the very first gods.
Because
Yep.
I was trying to heal him, and then he stops time and threatens to cut my head off. I'm like, alright.
I remember that.
But as you lot now are left in this room, this silence now kind of echoing through, keeping. Now all the dead have moved on to their own personal rooms for the night. The skeletons that were serving seem to have returned to their areas. You all are left in this this tavern-like room by yourselves, with hallways jutting off in every direction.
I have not stopped drinking.
Lucius, give me a con save at disadvantage.
All right.
Oh, are we doing the drinking contest? Why didn't you tell me?
Damn, one was a nat 20. 15.
Lucius,
Wait.
you see 3 of all of your party members.
I would say before that, was the Nat 20 the first one?
I roll them at the same time.
Oh, because I could have taken one of your disadvantage. That would have been fun.
Nope. Yeah, as you look about, you are drunk, Lucius, like really drunk. You're almost you're starting to feel the hammer come on to you.
Hey, you guys. When did so many of you get here?
Illusion spells.
I'm
Oh,
moving
my
so
friend,
fast
you are
that I'm
wasted.
appearing in 2 places at once.
3.
Exactly.
It's like, Sigrun, my friend, and I reach out to
Sigrun?
pat Sigrun
Yeah,
on the
Sigrun.
shoulder, but it's not Sigrun, and I just hit
Yeah,
the ground.
as you go, kind of leaning
Sigrun's
forward.
laughing.
Yeah, you fall onto the floor. It doesn't hurt as you fall face first into the stone. But you're also, as you feel the impact, kind of like just stuck there now as the ground starts to shake. But you feel the coolness of the ground itself.
Just face down to the ground. Damn rogues.
Or
Sigrun's just like leans down to like poke at him, and she's just like laughing, like, oh, he is absolutely fucking
Durali
wasted.
looks at him, wonders what would happen, and then casts Fly on the very drunk man.
You watch as your spell does not go off.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not
as
Oh.
soon as like I realize I'm on this cool floor, it's just
This
Silence.
cool.
He's
This
just
cool floor is
snoring.
very comfortable.
Yeah, snore out
Oh,
cold
he's
snoring.
asleep. He just passes out.
Sigrun, will you help me get him on the back of Tykaris?
Sigrun just hoists him, I assume, easily on her shoulder. I don't think Lucius weighs that much, does he?
let me get the exact number. I'm trying
Yeah,
to find
let
the
me-
sleeping bear gif.
Unless you weigh over 500 pounds.
258.
I've got you. Yeah, she easily just, as you're like, Sigrun, help me get him on Tykaris, she has hoisted him up with a single arm on her shoulder and just looks at you like, what were you saying? Did you
Listen,
need
don't
something?
Have to, you don't have to be sarcastic, alright? Yeah, you heard me ask you to put him on his back.
Tykaris speaks in your head more
Huh?
for a moment and goes, "No, I don't want to carry the fat bear."
Come on, he's helped us out in battle. The least we can do is get him to a soft bed.
Tykaris kind of shoves.
Who is he
Warren
talking
slightly.
to? As Sigrun like leans towards Durali.
I think he's finally lost it.
I know he was saying he was like the only sane one earlier, but he talks to himself a lot.
The horse nods up and down violently.
Oh, I knew a turtle who did that.
I didn't know more animals knew these tricks.
Alright, let's get Lucius off to bed, Tykaris, come on.
Takaris kind of nods and follows along. As you lot start, like, which way are you going? You've got, from what you can tell, there are 6 hallways on both sides of the room, right or left. And you are not given any information on where your room was or if there, what room you should be looking for.
Weren't we supposed to talk to Freya to get a room?
True.
Oh shit, that's right.
Wherever
Wasn't it?
wherever she is.
We
That
were
is
just
the
told a
question.
dungeon somewhere.
Dungeons tend to be downstairs. We just need to find stairs.
That's right,
going
the
down.
darkest depths.
As you say
Of the
this out
dungeon.
loud, Vormorn, you see stairs suddenly appear in the center of the room, going down into the darkness to where you lot are so
Oh,
far away you can't see.
Phenomenal!
Stair magic. I didn't know you knew that.
Neither did I. I assume it's
Yeah.
just this place, though. I'll be honest.
As
I want cooler stairs going down.
the stairs
No,
slightly
don't
change.
steal the dragon's blanket.
The design slightly changes, and suddenly a cold breeze starts blowing up from beneath.
I knew.
Oh. Hey, look! I made cooler stairs.
Now it's cold.
Do you
Lucius,
want me to ask for hot
that
stairs?
drunken
No.
warmth that you felt a moment ago, you suddenly feel a chill running up your back while you're
Well,
asleep.
Well, I mean, at least he should be warmed up by Tycharis, who is a a fire horse,
Sigrun's
essentially.
carrying Lucius.
Oh, Sigrun's carrying?
Yeah.
Just take
Remember, I threw him over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Unless you asked for him.
Oh, I thought I.
And maybe-
Oh, never mind.
Karis refused twice to.
Yeah. Don't worry. With Sigrun's body heat and fur, he's probably still warm.
Look, I'm just happy I have cold resistance. I'm fine.
Eh.
Alright.
Alright, let's go down the cool stairs.
As Sigrun
Huh.
leads the way, with Vormorn and Durali following behind. Tycharius following in the very back, not wanting to, or taking the stairs very slowly and looking very skittish.
Aww.
You lot start to climb down the stairs. An hour passes, a second hour passes, the stairs continuing down. A third hour passes, and you see no end to these stairs. They just keep going on.
How about stairs to Freya?
I slightly wake up and I see it's dark, so I try to cast light on Sigrun's axe, but like I mismanage and cast it on one of Durali's ears.
Durali, now your peripheral vision is now somewhat slightly blocked as a
I
bright
didn't
light is on your
Miss
ear.
that bad. Whoa, Durali, you're glowing.
And as soon as the spell starts, it seems to dissipate immediately, Durali.
I'm just like, I know I'm glowing. I'm beautiful, aren't I?
You've got
I
that
don't disagree.
But as you say state the stairs to Freya, the stairs suddenly you see in the like further on, about 60 feet in front of you, it suddenly starts to get extremely dark. Your dark vision, not piercing as a magical darkness, takes kind of fades over it, and then suddenly it dissipates once again as you see now there's a turn slightly. Another hour passes, though, as you continue climbing down the stairs. Finally, coming to the bottom, you hear screams and wails of pain and torture as the sounds of knives and daggers, as well as other instruments, are being used. You can hear someone singing in the distance, like violently sounding terrible, as another person screams in pain. And out comes this blue dragonborn, like wiping their hands of blood with a napkin, as she kind of smiles and comes over and goes, how can the Master of Disease help you?
We were told to talk to you about getting rooms. We're not dead, we're alive.
Well, I mean, dead people don't voluntarily come down in my chambers, so I'm not really surprised. You know, I gotta ask, since you're alive, if you don't mind, for the current world state of affairs, did Freya ever, like, ring out as a famous name?
You're a,
As
you're a famous
out of character, would Sigrun even know about Freya?
No. Not in the slice.
Sigrun's
I-
like, I have never heard that name before.
I'm just
It's
gonna
a
say,
cool sounding name.
you had a bounty in Dragon's Gate.
Ah, well, at least something was her. You know, I was a revolutionist. I led the lizard folk into a rebellion against the Dragonborn king. Managed to succeed and free a bunch of them. It was great. Even Tautler
King,
couldn't stop me.
King Kurgan wanted you dead during his entire rule.
Now, to be fair, that was his fault. He told me to make that or to combine those cards with that sword. It was definitely my party's fault.
I would say out of game bullshit.
No, but remember, Freya kept blaming it on the party,
Yep.
thinking it was all of you.
Yep.
But everyone in the party told her, hey, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But she looks on and goes, yeah, well, it's sad to hear my legacy didn't live on much. Rooms for living, 4 or 5, yeah, we can accommodate that. You'll have to be on the top floor. Give me a second. Door to living room, and you see suddenly a door appears, and she goes, by the way, why'd you take the stairs? You know it's like a 4-hour walk down here.
Well, I
We
called.
do now.
We didn't know that the doors just did that.
It's a magic. Okay. And the doors open up, and you see his lavish, noble-like
Jesus.
quarters that are fully set up. Glass windows looking out onto the snowy wastelands. A fully stocked bar and a icebox that's been set up. Food set out that's still freshly cooked. The smell of fresh fruit and such kind of gleaming. As Lucius mutters this under his drunken breath, Freya just kind of takes a pause moment as they look in the middle of the conversation, just looks at him and kind of snickers and looks back. And she goes, feel free to take your time here. We did have a member come through here mentioning something about knowing a Sigrun. A Temidar fella came by.
Oh,
Yes. I guess you guys forgot about him and he was killed.
I told him to quietly follow me, and then he suddenly wandered off. So
I don't recall that happening at all, in fact.
Well, he passed on a while ago. He said he was tired of waiting on his the assholes who caused him all those problems. He said he blamed his party for the mimics that he was stuck with, and said it was all their fault.
We did.
Oh yeah, that seems like a common occurrence to just blame people for your own actions, huh?
She
Listen,
looks at you and goes, "What is that supposed to mean?"
No, Temidar. I feel like I heard stories of Temidar always doing that.
She nods and goes, "I thought you were implying
He
something of an insult."
had
No.
his tail
absolutely
eaten,
not.
and then he had mimics that he didn't tell us about until the mimics ate them, and then we tried to save him, and then things happened.
I would've given
Remember
up-
when his potion thing disappeared and he blamed us?
Yes,
No.
I do.
Out of game, that was slightly our fault, because when he got eaten by a mimic, like 4 of us all got together and started claiming that we had his vial.
We did gaslight him.
but it was.
I
not-
was not involved in that out of character, so
Yeah,
I
no,
did not
no.
know that happened.
I said his mother swiped it because he blamed me when it happened, because I was a pickpocket. Then Hunter said Daka had it. Then Grumpy said he had it.
Yeah, we had
Oh
it
my
like
God.
people in other parties have it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, I
Freya-
did not know about that joke.
Freya kind of looks at you all and goes, "Well, enjoy your stay. I will. I have a busy schedule ahead of me of, torturing the damned and making sure all those who try to resurrect people are properly taken care of."
Mm.
All right, catch you later.
It's a
She
good
nods.
thing I'm not undead anymore. As she walks to the door.
Yeah, as each of you walk in, the warmth comes back, the room warming back up to a comfortable temperature, the door slams shut, and you find yourselves now alone in this large ornate room with 4 king-size beds that have been set up, a couple of two couches facing each other with a red velvet design to it, different foods laid out on the coffee table in between the two couches, and then the massive glass windows that stand almost 20 feet tall that you can look out on to watch the snowy blizzard of the northern wastelands.
Does that mark the end of Cameron's final character? Is that?
That's the question.
Actually, yeah. Is it Nick still around though?
Nick is still around. He's still alive.
Yeah.
That's his only character left. Nick is somewhere. That's his last one.
But as you lot kind of start to settle in for the time, do you want to do anything while you're in the room? Besides Lucius's rancid ass.
Yeah, put Lucius somewhere comfortable so he's just not on my shoulder.
The smell kind of emanating into Sigrun as she drops Lucius down onto the bed. hear
Does he
Dorali
even
typing.
rouse awake, or is he just
He's out
fucking
cold.
passed out? Does anyone have charcoal? I want to do something really funny.
What? Why do you want charcoal? Explain
I-
yourself, Sigurd. I don't trust you.
Like the kind that is brittle, so when you rub it against something, it leaves a black smear.
Oh, wait, hold on. I dig through my bag and I pull out paint.
Hey, you want to do something really funny? And she gestures to Lucius's passed out face.
Oh no!
Sigrun would like to draw like fantasy Sharpie on Lucius's drunk forehead.
Now, Tara's gonna tell you this is mood mark paint. So when he feels emotions, the paint's gonna randomly change colors.
That's so fucking great.
Wow, Tara's
Oh.
back? I didn't know.
What?
You said Tara.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
so-
notice.
Yeah, so, Dorali, are you gonna give Sigrun the paint?
The mood mark paint. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Sigrun, roll a performance check, and what are you drawing
Yes,
on?
welcome to join in. Well, Sigrun isn't a great artist, so her drawings are probably going to be very crude, childish. You know, silly little things like, you know, the usual genitalia paraphernalia type stuff. Maybe a Sigrun was here, just like a crudely drawn axe, or like a bear or a boar, just like, you know.
Okay.
Stuff like that. What is my performance? Oh, it's a -1.
Oh, this can
Can
only
I-
go well. Yes?
Since I
A
have
10
both,
total.
Okay.
now since I have expertise and advantage, can I give the help action?
Yeah, that's fine.
You're
I'll
like
tell you what,
directing
I'll
me.
let Dorali roll it to assist, and I'll take the mean between the two numbers of the average here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lucius feels nothing.
Nope.
I got a
you know what,
10.
Lucius, give me a con check. Let's see if you can, because you're really drunk. So,
I evened out your 10 with a 38.
okay.
Yeah, so that's like a 20-something mean.
17.
All right. So with a 17, you start to feel something kind of tickling your face slightly. And you do feel some like heavy breathing, but you're also surrounded in a very warm blanket that's like made of silk and a pillow with goose feathers in it, making it extremely fluffy. Meaning you're in a really comfortable position. You slightly start to feel something tickling your face, but you can choose whether you want to wake up or not.
Puddles, not now. There's people around.
As Sigrun starts to draw and finishes up the designs on it with the guidance of Dorali, the design of Sigrun's name drawn on, saying that Sigrun was here, and then drawing like different crude symbols from the Scroffe artwork of like different markings just to make a fool of someone. And different like designs on it. Minutes go by, and you also see Sigrun draws herself on it. That's the one where Dorali really takes a hand and
Crudely,
helps out.
yeah, flexing.
And yeah, you two do that. Vormorn, are you gonna do anything during this?
No.
You just gonna go take one of the beds and lay down?
Yeah, and I'm gonna start playing my harmonica.
Okay. You
Sigrun's like snickering to herself.
You start playing your harmonica, really enjoying the evening. As Sigrun and Dorali start to finish up, Ticarius kind of lays down on one of the beds and completely starts snoring on its side. Dorali, Sigrun, and Vormorn, you are the only ones up as Vormorn starts to slowly play his harmonica. Vormorn, give me a performance check for it.
All right, come on, good rolls, good rolls.
You haven't rolled one
That's
yet.
that's
Man.
an 11. I rolled good my first time. I rolled really
And
high.
since
my
then,
first
you've
time
gone
around.
downhill.
I can
Yes.
say I finished up. I have a harp. Let's do this. Let's
Alright.
add to the melody.
See if Dorali can save the melody.
Listen, 11 is average, all right.
Does Sigrun have any instrument proficiency? She does not.
As the two start to Dorali making up for it and serenading her sounds of her harp into it to make it sound even more beautiful. It enhances Vormorn's song as he starts to sit there and just play the instrument. Sigrun can sing if you want to try.
I was gonna say, yeah, what she's done like doodling on Lucius's face and has stepped away. Could she contribute in with like some Scrofate chants, just
Yeah.
like quiet ones,
Give me,
like they do near the fire at night?
Give me a performance check as well.
Okay, this isn't gonna
Listen,
be great.
I know like at least harmonic performer. I'm just a cowboy.
Hey, 15 minus 1, 14. It's decent for Sigrun.
As Sigrun starts to sing a song, something along the lines of a very
Probably
warm
a
charity
giant.
about drinking and fighting and living life to the fullest. The three of you pass the night with a good and relaxing tune as you kind of enjoy and eventually slowly one by one start to fall asleep. The night passes, or what you assume is the night is, and you you awake to the sound of a bell jingling near the door. As the jingle is heard, you hear a knock. Then suddenly, everyone, give me a perception check to see who wakes up first.
Is it hearing base?
Yes.
Sleep.
Hearing based. Raleigh's
No,
out.
but you
Mormorn's
too.
out.
Yeah, Boomer, you too. Sleep.
I got
I hate the
a
freaking dice on here. Get
12.
stuck in the
12.
corner.
Okay. And
Sigrun's
Lucius.
passed the fuck out.
27.
Lucius, you're the first to wake up as you hear someone knocking at the door. The slight hangover still hitting you.
Somebody make the noise go away.
The knocking gets louder. Still, Lucius, you're the only one that hears it.
I'm just going to like, what?
Do I have permission to enter? You hear the strange voice you remember drunkenly hearing last night talking to you, but you don't remember who it was as you were passed out for the most part.
I guess.
Oh, good. And she opens the doors and comes Freya, and she goes, "Wake up, gentlemen and ladies!" And she just stops as she looks at Lucius and goes, and starts to chuckle and goes, "Have a adventurous night last night, I see." As she starts to snap her fingers, and you all feel yourself suddenly roused awake at the sound in your head. Kind of like jolting slightly as you suddenly see Freya standing in the room. And she goes, Did someone lose a fight with an ink vial?
No. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everything's
Hey,
fine.
DM, does Lesser Restoration work for hangovers?
It does not.
I tried.
Well, because alcohol's a poison, right?
Yeah, but he's not poisoned.
The hangover, the alcohol's already kind of gone.
Yeah.
It's what
This is the lack of not drinking enough water and your body basically being dehydrated. That's what a hangover is. It's dehydration.
Give the man some water.
Freya kind of looks about and goes, okay. Well, Trinitus has sent me to inform you that he is prepared to meet with you lot. He has mentioned that there's a good chance you should probably be ready for a fight, so I recommend you eat up a hearty breakfast and prepare. He said that the information you seek is unfortunately behind what he called a trial. Apparently his father wants to make sure you lot are actually worth his time, still, as, you know, you're not technically his champion, so...
it does. Alright.
if
I just want to go to the Underdark.
I gotta fight something.
Yes, don't worry, the breakfast should wake you up. I have fresh ground coffee, I have meat, I have more meat, and I have some drinks, some more alcohol available.
You got beans
Those
and
all
bacon?
sound great.
We can provide beans and bacon, the bean, as long as you're okay with the beans being a couple thousand years old.
That's on average.
He nods and goes, for the rest of you, is there, do you want some native dishes, I assume? She looks about.
I will eat about anything, to be honest.
I imagine you will, as Freya looks over at Lucius's face again.
Just make sure it's not too spicy.
Understood. I must ask, good friend, good man Lucius, are you a fan of pork by chance?
I like look over at Sigrun and look back, and I'm like, is that a trick question?
You know, I think you've answered my question. Thank you. I will have those meals brought down to you momentarily. Enjoy your morning, and feel free to look out as we see the blizzard continuing to unveil the many bodies from the time when the clan of Zarius tried to siege our castle. And she turns and walks out, closing the door behind her.
Hey,
I
Lucius,
still
you
have
got
not
you got
gotten off of the bed.
Lucius, you got a little bit of a spit.
No, Sigrun
on the
goes
side
to
of your
grab
face.
him and stop him.
You got a little spit coming out of your bottom lip
Forlorn, you
there.
suddenly find your mouth
No.
covered by Sigrun's hand.
You look, Lucius, you look the best you've looked in a long time.
I
We
don't
should
know
just get to breakfast.
what color it would be, but he is just so
It
confused
is.
right now.
It is fully green right now. Mostly from the sickness he's feeling. What's up,
Lucius,
I'm just like preparing my hair. I'm looking at the little mirror I have.
Okay.
we should get going to breakfast while it's still warm.
Is
My hair
Tycheris
okay?
is
Can I
Tycheris
Raleigh,
What's up?
can I see the mirror? Check my hair.
Yeah, of course.
Oh no.
Lucius, as you look at it, for a moment, your eyes are kind of blurred. Give me a perception check at disadvantage for the sight.
All
Oh,
right. Well,
Please get low.
13.
13. As you're kind of groggy-eyed looking, at first it looks like you've got your panda form on just your face, and then you start to kind of focus, and then you see Sigrun drawn on your cheek, and then you see Sigrun was here pointing down to your face, drawn on your forehead, and it is now starting to
Sigrun
slowly
would
turn
like to
red.
stealth. I would like
Sigrun,
to stealth.
What the fuck is this?
Sigrun, roll stealth check. I will say,
Yeah, roll stealth.
uh,
I got a 20 stealth.
Lucius, you can go ahead and give me a perception for your hearing and
Okay.
smell.
Wow. You can tell I'm drunk. 17.
17.
Yeah, I got a 20.
Yeah, you can't see. You gotta look up to look for Sigrun. The paint's starting to change in color slightly. Sigrun's not in the room.
I have a question. Did Sigrun
Yeah.
drag me down and sneak with her, or
No. Letting.
No, she let you
As I'm-
go the moment the gig was up.
As I'm like standing there holding the mirror, I start to lower it down so that I can see Dorali over top of it. You know, this Sigrun drawing is done awfully well.
Oh yeah.
Also,
I think
Lucius.
Here, tell me about the paint.
Lucius, you also know Sigrun can't spell her own name in common.
Not
Wasn't I
common.
there when Dorali got the paint too?
You were
Yeah.
not.
Oh no, yeah, that's true.
You were
Oh,
not.
But
I
you've
wasn't.
seen her work on the
the
ship.
only one
That's
that
true.
knows. The only one that
I
knows she
did
has
see Dorali painting the
is
ship.
Key.
Yeah.
Dorali's gonna say to your face, I didn't do it.
Deception check?
Insight question?
Yeah,
You
I
want-
would like to deception check that.
All right, give me an insight check, and Durali, give me a deception check.
28.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I have a
It
plus
was,
18. I have a plus 18 to deception.
Yeah, you buy it, Lucius. It's
Should blame it on Vermorn.
I literally had nothing to do with this.
How do I get this off?
Try wiping it off. I said that's the first thing you should do.
DM, I'm gonna go to wipe it, but when I wipe it, I dispel magic, the paint, so that it comes off really easily.
alright. You feel a slight tingle on your face, Lucius, for a moment as the paint starts to wipe onto the cloth rag that Durali takes out of their bag.
Alright, there you go.
See, all you gotta do is wipe it off.
Sigrun's still nowhere to be seen in the room, currently hiding in one of the corners.
You know, normally I find those who run are to be the most guilty.
You see as Tycheris nods.
There you go.
Sigrun remains quiet. She's had a
Oh.
bit of rogue training. She's not fallen for the bait.
I'm just heading to breakfast.
You wanna know the best part about the Moonbark Pamphlet? That was my only charge of it. I don't have any more.
As you guys go to leave the room, you also see as Freya comes back in with skeletons leading or following behind with a like full course meal being set out now onto a table that they start to bring into the room, setting a
That's
full
nice.
long table out into the middle of it and setting chairs and start putting down plates full of stuff. Freya looks about and goes, "We've got beans, I've got bacon, I've got drinks, I've got mood paint, I've got coffee here."
Oh.
Ooh, I like myself some black coffee.
I heard mood paint. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Nice.
Sigrun like to try sneakily grab her food.
I'm
off
just gonna like,
plate.
yeah, I'm watching the food.
Daicaris, 1 cube or 2 cubes of sugar for your coffee?
He drinks coffee.
Of course he drinks coffee.
You see as he just sticks it, the horse just walks over and sticks his face into the trough or into the coffee like thing, not caring and just lopping it up.
Oh, I
Horse
wish I
after
could
my
have
own
gotten some
heart.
of that first.
Freya just kind of snaps her fingers, and suddenly a skeleton brings a fresh pot into the room.
Do I have to sleight of hand to try to get my food without Lucius noticing?
I'm gonna tell you right now that he'll notice the food, the plate moving. As far as it goes, you are currently hiding, but definitely the food's gonna be a lot harder to hide as you look on.
Sigrun's gonna wait for him to get his food first.
You know,
and
for
she's
such
just like,
a
"Oh,
strong warrior, you seem pretty afraid of Lucius.
No, it's just she's taking this prank to the extreme. It's
Like,
funny.
I'm going to grab Sigrun's plate, take it over to the mood paint under the bed, and set the plate next to it.
Sigrun, you look over. You see there's a vial of what was mood paint sitting under your bed now.
And then I'm just gonna like sit on the bed across from it and wait.
Just
Well,
watch the food slide under.
Question: while his attention is fully focused on my food, can I try to sneak his food off his plate to eat? Because he's distracted.
You know what? Yeah, give me a sleight of hand, and Lucius, go ahead and give me a hearing or smell perception check, because you're not going to notice the food from
Do I
sight.
get any advantage or disadvantage or no?
No, just straight up roll.
Hey! Oh, that was almost a nat 20. 17. I didn't roll the
24.
greatest.
24.
Damn.
You watch Lucius grabs a big piece of meat and kind of sets it on his plate as he's getting and some vegetables as he's starting to chew on it, stabbing his fork into the vegetables. The meat you start to notice Lucius's meat slowly moving across your plate in front of you. Do you do anything, Lucius?
I was just looking to see.
Uh,
I'm going to send you. I got a massive question.
Okay.
oh no. This does not bode well.
Probably not.
Listen, Sigrun needs the stealth training. She really needs to get better at her sneakery.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anybody's disagreeing on that part. It's great training. That's the way you gotta look at it.
Look.
Yeah,
you gotta-
exactly.
you gotta
What
think
better
about-
way could she actively train where there's a threat, but it isn't like an actual threat? You know?
You could steal one of my baubles, although I might kill you.
I consider that an active threat. I don't... Listen, with how much Durali's been drinking and looking miserable lately, even Sigrun with her bad charisma can detect that that's a bad thing to do.
What? Let me check to look at the spell real quick.
Look, I forget you've got a bunch of spells, don't you?
It's magic.
I know it's magic, but I forgot that he probably has magic that could, like, fuck me over. Do you have, like, fairy fire or something that'll just make me glow?
That'd be funny.
Oh, spell.
Sigrun thinks she's stealthing, but she's just glowing.
What does it do? Okay. Alright. Yeah. Sigrun, give me a perception check at disadvantage. See if you
Can
notice
do.
this.
I'll just roll again for the sake of it. I got a nat 1 plus 7, so an 8.
You suddenly find yourself something. You find yourself kind of like surrounded by an invisible force that seems to enclose you into a ball.
Can I break out of it?
It seems as you start to punch it, you can't really like pass through it. It just seems to be solid. As you see Lucius kind of smiling.
Oh, come
Gotcha.
on. You're going to put me in a cage? This seems a little unfair. I was expecting, like, you to brawl me, and we'd, like, have a bit of a fun fist fight, and then that would be a good morning.
Guy really just used Resilient Sphere to trap our barbarians.
Yeah.
What's the area of this bubble? What's, like, the current, like, area? Does it follow with me, or is it, like, a confined area?
It's just big enough to hold you.
If I use my ring right now and got big, what would
The
happen?
ball, I imagine the ball would just grow with you.
In theory, yeah. You can try it.
But that would give me more space.
Sigrun
You could
doesn't
make
know,
a big
so
ball.
The ring only lets me grow as big as like is like allowable. So if it doesn't move, I'll be as however big the ball lets. So yeah, I think Sigrun's like trying to like feel for like some way like a doorknob or something. She's not finding anything. And she's like, fucking magic types, and she tries to enlarge.
alright, you start to enlarge, the orb seems to expand with you, as you do.
Don't
Is the-
worry, you'll
so-
be out in a minute, and I just start
So-
eating my food.
So hang on, the ball is solid to me. Is it solid to other objects? Like as I enlarge, do I see it press against other objects?
Everything inside of it.
Inside of it, but not outside of it.
Correct.
Sigrun tries rolling it towards her plate of food.
You watch as you roll it over and the plate gets crushed underneath the orb.
No! My food! Oh, now I have to eat.
Maybe we should use some of this paint and see how you feel, Sigrun.
Now I have to eat my other rations, and you see her pulling rations out of her bag of holding to sadly eat.
I'm just watching this while I drink coffee.
It's quite entertaining as the time
It is.
goes on.
Sigrun looks sadly honest at the plate.
It's up to a minute, so it only takes you a minute, and then you're out.
Alright, yeah, you,
It's too
you
late.
pop out
The plate's been
eventually.
ruined.
Yeah, you pop out eventually, and as you pop out, you finally see as the orb kind of breaks apart and another plate is brought into the room for you, Sigrun.
Oh, thank you. She kind of shrinks back down and she just takes that food and eats it on top of the rations she ate.
Yeah, as you lot start to enjoy your feast, eating and spending or relaxing in the morning, Freya finally comes back and lets you know that Trinitas is ready to see you. However, he will be seeing you at the bottom of the trial, and Freya explains that she will be the one bringing you to the entrance.
Of course. Alright.
She looks about you all and goes, "All right, follow me here." And she walks down the hallway to the end of the hearing. As you hear the screams of torture all around, continuing as the worst of the worst souls are being brutally beaten and destroyed in the cages that they're put in. Freya, joyfully kind of smiling, kind of walking with almost a skip in her step, comes walking into to this big, large door made of ornate bones of differing creatures, and she goes, "Once you pass through here, if you die, your soul will be lost. Keep that in mind."
Oh, thank God as I walk in.
No, fuck. I had more warnings, but all right.
What?
I
they
heard no warnings.
Bad warnings?
That
only
was the
heard black-
warning. That was part of it. That and the fact that there are a lot of undead creatures, so you're gonna want to make sure you got radiant spells.
That is fine.
I do.
Oh, well, I got that
Yeah,
covered
Sigrun
at
gives a
least.
thumbs up. Yeah, Sigrun does her own radiant damage.
Freya nods.
She strolls in.
As the doors open up around or in front of you guys, as you walk in, and the doors suddenly come to a close right behind you, you see this large open tunnel that seems to be filled with bones of creatures all on the sides that have fallen and died in this pathway, and that is where we're going to end session before the last major dungeon. We thank you all for watching. We hope you will be here for tomorrow's session, and we will see you guys all at the end. Catch you later.
I'm just really hoping information gets to Maya's